live snacks.
All right, we are. All right, sorry about that, YouTube people. We are now live on YouTube as well.
Oh,
nice, well done.
And now we're just kind of waiting for Josh to come through here. But I'm sure Ryan has some choice words about that.
So that we can clean up the 0.07 cents department. I want ads on here by the end of today.
Hell yeah.
All right, now I put everybody on the actual chat so everyone can see us now.
Oh, good.
So what's up, YouTube?
Nice.
What's up, Facebook?
Hello. Everybody.
I need to actually go get the beers. You guys are already ready. I was fiddling around with, but I do have my pitcher.
Come on, I can't compete with glassware like that.
Did you drink out of a shoe?
It was bring your own pitcher night? I wasn't told.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, there you go.
Hey,
Nice.
there we go.
I'm excited to. I have a new glass that I'm gonna.
That
This
is-
is a gift.
New Glaris.
This is a gift from Beer on the Wall. Regular Matt Bustamante gave me this glass. I think he was doing some house cleaning, and I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for my my first beer.
Sweet.
I'm excited to try it out. Take it for a spin.
Hey, sorry. So guys, if you're just a couple of you, if you're watching on YouTube, we had YouTube is apparently having an issue with people use too many ADI, something technical. They don't have enough streams to to send streams to static events that were already planned in advance. So if you were going to that link, the link doesn't work anymore. Just go directly to our channel, and you can find it there.
I don't know what any of that means.
I don't either. I literally I was testing this like crazy over the weekend, and it worked fine. And then all of a sudden, I got a message an hour or like a half hour before this came up, and it said, "Sorry, YouTube is no longer allowing videos from our source, so you're just kind of out of luck." So, sorry, YouTube. Facebook people, can you hear everybody okay? You can hear Ryan and Matt talking as well as myself.
Hi.
Whoa, did we just get paid? I heard a cash register sound.
No, that's funny.
Those are just the
No,
orders
that's
coming into
my,
Beer on the Wall. Just count them up.
No, that's our buddy Jonathan letting us know that it's up and running on YouTube.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, awesome.
I thought it was a camp girl suddenly.
No.
Okay.
Probably put a little do not disturb.
All right, good to hear. Thank you, Jonathan. All right, well, should we just get started without Josh?
Yeah, let's do that.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Keep the good people waiting. But let it be known, as you were mentioning before everybody got on here, Josh is only late because he was working. He was putting deliveries together for the store.
He was. We had three very late deliveries come through. So he got those together and delivered to the people, and the people got to get their beer tonight.
It is heroic.
All right, let's do it.
So what are we drinking? What's first?
Let's start with the Trust.
Okay.
This is from Illuminated. I don't know if they do a whole lot of lagers up until now. I can't think of one at least.
I have a hard time keeping track of whatever the hell they do. But I find that usually when I have their beer, I'm always surprised and impressed.
So this one
Yeah.
is
I can smell it already just as soon as I open the can from a foot away from my face. I can smell it.
this one's brewed, I think, with Styrian Wolf and something else.
It smells nice.
Nice clear foamy head on top of there.
Mm-hmm. Look at my bubbles going. Probably can't see it, but
All right, levels are a little low. Bring that up.
a clean glass for once, so I'm proud of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of like sweet floral hop kind of on the aroma, but mostly just kind of biscuity, bready, lager stuff.
Man.
Yeah, there's the floralness and like the herbalness is really. It's not it's very not European traditional. It's neither snappy nor like crisp or anything like that. It's very like flowery and herbal to me.
But did you guys get what I'm saying about? I mean, it's got a lot of aroma for this type of beer. I mean, I was just surprised as soon as I cracked it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's beer. It's nice.
It's settling down a little bit, I think, in the glass, but it's yeah, certainly I noticed that right off the pour. I want to drink it.
There's definitely
we're-
hops happening in there too. It is not hopless by any means. Ryan, what did you say? You said Styrian Wolf. What else?
Yeah, Styrian Wolf and I forget. I have to look it up again. Styrian Wolf's kind of a weird one, if I remember correctly.
And Saz,
Oh, Saz, okay. Which
I don't know a whole lot about, but
that's very traditional. That's what you find in most of your Czech and German pilsners.
Yeah, it's in that range though, where there's a traditional element to it, but it's a little sharper. Something on the finish is just a little bit more bitter. It's real nice. It's maltier than I expected to.
yeah, it's got a backbone. But
It's
yeah,
a
the
little-
flavor goes on for a while afterwards.
It's a little heavier
It's
than
not-
I expected,
Yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
but it sits on my tongue. It's definitely got like plenty of bitterness and plenty of hoppiness going on.
Yeah, the hoppiness is increasing too with each sip. It's getting a little bit more, I don't know, resinous.
Dare you say IPL, India Pale Lager?
Almost.
I was gonna say, I think. Yeah, they call it a pale lager on Untapped. Not an India pale lager, a pale lager.
And Josh is just walking in the door. He's of course petting the cats, and then he's going to join us very soon.
Do you have a
Are you
separate feed?
imagining that, or did he say that?
I was gonna say, do you have a separate feed to Josh right now?
No, I just Josh like me is a cat owner, so I just
Oh, okay.
assume that first thing he has no option. Like when you walk in the door, the cats just like jump at you and just demand your attention for at least 30 seconds, and then they promptly go away, and then they leave you alone and until you get live on Facebook, and then of course they just want to be all up in your business.
This quarantine has been the worst thing ever for my cats because my two preschoolers, every time the cats come upstairs from the basement, my kids just run full steam ahead at them and want to pet them, but really is just terrifying to these cats. And they have never known this lack of privacy in their entire lives. So it is just an everyday problem for them.
Yeah, dogs of America rejoice. Cats of America retreat. Yeah.
So
Also, in
Yeah,
true
go ahead.
illuminated fashion, this artwork is just psychedelic and freaky, and reminds me of like the Electric Company or something from when I was little. And as usual, it's just like you just don't know what you're gonna get inside. Like you said, there are elements of it that differ to some degree, but it is still a fairly traditional style beer, and yet in this can just says, "Check me out, baby."
What is the story on these guys lately anyway? Because we've done a couple of their beers on the podcast, but I don't know what their operation is like. I mean, this one is brewed at Church Street, I guess. Are they like all propping around, or are they just doing cans at Church Street, doing their own bottle runs? Like, what's the whole deal with these guys?
To my knowledge, they're they have their own brewing facility in West Loop, and
Yeah.
they just use Church Street for canning runs. I don't know a whole lot. We had one rep here at the store that's been coming to us for 3 years, and he lives nearby, and he's always in here. So he's a good buddy of ours. But to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about their operations. If Josh
Maybe
was
that's
here,
intentional.
if Josh could just get on the phone and stop playing with his cats.
I was gonna say,
Josh has
does
gone down
know.
there and
Josh
he's
knows
peeled
about
some
illuminated.
oranges.
Josh has participated in
Ah!
some brew days and stuff over there at Illuminated, so he knows the whole story.
Yeah.
Here he comes. We're just going to assault
Honestly,
him with
sweet.
questions.
It's gonna be
Just
so sweet when Josh gets here.
oh my gosh!
It's just
What's up, man?
smile.
Man,
So Josh, we were drinking the Illuminated Trust, and Ryan asked, he's like, "What do you know about Illuminated and their brewing and their process?" And oh no, did we lose him again?
Josh,
Josh.
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
are you just adjusting yourself?
Myself?
Yeah.
Yes, I was. No, I was. Yeah, Illuminated. They're awesome.
Thank you. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Right. I'm very excited. They are. I'm not sure how official it is, but they are working on a new spot. But as far as their old spot goes, I did some volunteer work for them, and it is. What's the word I was using? Just like being there and working on their beers just felt very, very hands-on, obviously, but they don't use like extracts and stuff like that. So, like my very first time, I thought I was just gonna go hang out and do whatever, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna zest like 15 boxes of oranges." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And it was like 5 hours of zesting, and it was a lot of work. Beer tasted great. It was for Orange Sunshine, which is one of my absolute favorites. But I was just, I was expecting to do some bottling or something like that. But intimate is the word. Like when you're there and they're brewing their beer, like they are hands-on with it. They're doing their bottling. They self-distro. They are the brains, the meat and potatoes, and all that. So, yeah, this guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Jason's actually
Yeah.
on the chat too. So he says he's watching you, Josh. Just be aware.
Oh, I bet. Is this a good glass to drink out of?
That's a good one. I mean, this one's not very creamy.
I'll save it for the next.
You don't have that new shit, do you?
I do. I got it all.
Thank God.
Don't
I
tell
even
Ryan
got
that
the mug too.
it's currently holding pencils that off the wall.
I'm
Wait, what'd you
flattered.
say?
It's not on purpose. It was you dropped it off that one day at the store, and suddenly just someone's like, "We're gonna put pens in this."
Oh yeah.
There's only like 30 of them, so no big deal.
It's
I
like
was
putting.
about to show off my glass, but it's kind of dirty. But this snazzy little guy from Half Acre.
No, I think you have probably
Look
the
at all
most.
the head. I didn't get that much head on mine, but I got enough. But that's crazy.
Anyway,
Josh, any
what did I
additional
miss?
thoughts on this beer?
Mine looks more ambery than yours, but I guess it's lighting. It's a lighting.
Yeah. I do apologize. I had to, I worked. I had 3 deliveries, and I drove all the way back into the city, and so I'm very thirsty. So this is perfect. It was a busy day. I'm happy we're busy, and yeah, cheers to that.
Hey, you were busy as hell on Thursday when I called you. You didn't even
Oh,
recognize me on the phone.
I didn't
Josh.
know. I was not me. That wasn't me. That was someone else, and I do apologize because I was just like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, so if you don't have the invoice, it's not here. Like, I was frantic. I needed Ryan to be like. I was like, oh yeah, it will be.
And then I went back to my beach chair and did nothing the rest of the day. It was awesome.
You got
where
pretty
is it?
quiet there, Ryan. I didn't hear what you just said.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
You gotta go quiet.
That was when I drink lagers. I just stopped talking.
So Ryan, if any questions come in, are we gonna see them right here in the Zoom? Not in the Zoom group chat.
Oh, yeah,
That's not what we're gonna see.
No,
No.
I'm trying to get that working. So yeah, whenever you guys are talking, I'm working on trying to get that stream working on a separate screen.
I'm muted. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not stressing out. I just wondered if I didn't want to miss anything, if there was something I was supposed to be.
Oh, whoops!
Looking at
Hey, look at that! I forgot to transition that.
I'm disappointed none of you are using virtual backgrounds.
I
There's
have
too much
this
going
real
on in my background.
I
If you
do
try
all
to
the
put it on, it
places-
won't work. It'll look crazy. You gotta have like at least in my experience on Zoom, you gotta have like basically a green screen. You gotta have a big wall behind you for it to work.
I've never played around with it. So
Pretty funny.
maybe to this day.
So
You
I
can put whatever image you want up there too.
I'd initially set up like against one of these walls here, and apparently my skin color is the same as these walls back there because I just disappeared. So
You said like just a floating beard.
I was shoulders. That was it.
Can I,
Got my
can, I,
shoulders at least.
can I go into a Home Depot right now and just ask for ABV Ryan, like skin tone, just like start
Yeah.
painting it?
Oh
on the
yeah,
wall?
no, yeah, it's yeah. I can send you that number, like the letters and what do they call that? You know, ketone numbers or whatever.
And Pantone.
Thank you.
If we get
Yeah.
that in an eggshell finish, it's gonna be great.
That's true.
I never know how to answer that question.
So Josh, this beer, I was saying that as soon as we cracked it open, I could smell it instantly. I was surprised how much aroma there was for this type of beer, and we're also all kind of surprised there's like a lot of backbone and kind of a long finish on it. It's like heartier than it looks or maybe you first think it's going to be based on the style.
Totally.
It's kind of a bigger beer than you'd expect.
It is. I believe I'm gonna check myself. Yeah, 6% too, which is a little higher than average. But I do love the. I wouldn't call it like super light. It's definitely filling and a lot of good mold coming through. It is really refreshing. Like as soon as if we get nice weather, it feels like it's just never gonna happen. But it's gonna be pretty fun. And I like the clean finish too. Overall, it's not like super syrupy or like overly sweet or anything like that. It's really well done.
I want you to back up. What is weather?
What is weather?
What is that?
These days, who knows? I haven't seen Tom Skilling in like 3 months, it feels like. So
Is he okay?
I don't. If I was him, I'd take off. But where is he? It's unbelievable.
I like this a lot. Yeah, 6% is a little high for a lager.
Oh, it's 6%.
Yeah.
I entered that on the.
Doesn't taste like it.
entered that in the
Tell you
data.
how much.
You think I would know?
It's on the can.
It's right out of the can.
It's just saw the Metro go by.
I gotta say, I do love it when the info that you want for a beer is right on the can. Like it says, a premium lager you can trust, 6%. That's what I need. Like, I'm a simple man.
Yeah, but there's also something here from the Surgeon General.
Oh, that person.
That guy.
I probably shouldn't drink this whole can because we have 3 other beers to drink.
No,
yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Wait,
I'll go halfsies with you.
Or is that what I'm supposed to do?
aren't you a pro at like drinking 5 or 6 things and then
You have no idea how much we pour out at the end of the night.
and then first of all, and then talking shit about me? So let's.
Oh, are we gonna have a face off here? Is this gonna be it? Josh and Ryan finally gonna throw down?
Semantics. I mean,
Hey, I never actually introduced anybody to anybody, so
yeah,
people that are watching, hi, it's me, Ryan, owner of Beer on the Wall, and over here to, this way, over here to my left, this is Ryan from ABV Chicago. So we got Ryan's on top. Down directly below me is Josh, one of your favorite bartenders over here. Although the comments are not being kind to you, Josh. People are like, we don't need Josh tonight.
oh shit.
Yeah, I'm used to it at this point. It's fine.
And then diagonally, this way, over here, this is Matt Priest. He's been with Beer on the Wall now for 9 months over in Park Ridge, and Arlington Heights is almost about a week or two away from opening.
Holy shit.
Great time to be opening a store. We're so excited. We're so excited. But Matt's going to be up there on that store if it ever eventually opens up in some form or another.
Fun like that.
But yeah, you've probably seen the three of us, Josh, myself, and Matt, around the store if you've been in a bunch. You may not know Ryan, but you hopefully you've listened to the ABV Chicago podcast, our great podcast partners.
Good stuff.
And
Heck yeah.
some really awesome
Thanks.
reviews and hot takes on what's going on in the beer world. So after you're done with this video, go check out the most
The
recent.
hottest of hot takes.
Too hot.
Because you guys
Yeah,
just most recently your episode was you paired Girl Scout cookies with actual stouts with those items in it.
Well,
Not
not
just
even,
stouts.
not just paired them. We French pressed them.
Oh, you French
in
press? That's right. Yeah,
beers.
French press them.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
listened to
bought
the episode
3 French presses from IKEA, and we smashed 6 different cookies into 6 different beers, and some of them were amazing, life affirming even. The best, and Craig will die happy. He put Thin Mint
Finally.
into the Juke Nukem from Alarmist, which is like a West Coast IPA. Woo. It was awesome. Like it was so good.
That sounds
So you weren't just doing stouts?
No.
I didn't hear this episode, so you went off okay.
We did Metho Dust from Is Was with
I know that one.
Lemon Ups cookies, which are like shortbread lemon iced cookies. That was a little too sweet, not great. We did the.
And they have affirmative messages on those cookies too, right?
Oh, they do. Yeah, I'm a risk taker. And we did what Holy Cow from Church Street, where this beer was made. But their milk stout we did with a s'more cookie, and for some reason that obvious combination was a total disaster. They tasted like blood.
Ew.
I don't know why, because the beer was fine, the cookies fine, but put them together it just didn't work. We also did the Kinslager Dunkel with the Do-si-do's peanut butter cookie, and that was good.
That
was
sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a little gross looking, but it was tasty.
I'm surprised any of them looked good.
Oh, the stouts were the only one that didn't look like horrible. We did Original Reaper from Half Acre with the Samoas. That was really good.
I bet that was good.
And then the other one,
Great stout.
Thin Mint one, we did Toffee Tastic with the Barley Butcher from Maplewood. So that was pretty good. It was
Good
alright.
memory. Good memory
Yeah.
all the way around.
I wrote about it and listened to the episode twice, and yeah, that's what I do.
Nice.
Well, this is damn good.
Yes.
All right,
Nice.
Delicious.
let's move on to the next beer. Let's get something hoppy. Let's go with the with the hype.
I mean, Ryan, if somebody enjoys this beer, can they buy more of it, or is it all gone now?
This is still available. Trust
Not
from
much though.
Illuminated
Maybe a
is
case.
still available. We
Yeah.
have it. It is on the front stacker. I can see it right here.
What's the price point on that one, Ryan? Do you mind
That'd
saying?
be $4 a 4-pack.
He doesn't know any prices. These
I don't
things.
know what
Really?
things cost around here.
Josh, what's the price on that?
I'm gonna go top of my head. I believe it's about $12 a 4-pack.
I was gonna say 11.84. Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You're getting 16 ounces, and that is exactly where you want your lagers. Not too crazy. Buy a lot of them. Drink them all the time.
But if you,
And by the way, like, God bless. I mean, and I mentioned this before, but just the artwork on illuminated cans, it's like they always grab your attention. They totally jump out. Every can is wildly different, yet somehow, I guess it's color schemes and stuff. It's just the vibrancy of the colors. It ties it all together. So it always feels like an illuminated can, but each one's different and it always jumps right off the shelf. And they kill it with the can artwork. It's
Very
awesome.
good point. They've been on a streak of black cans with lots of awesome neon colors, and I'm just noticing now they went for the white can with the same thing. But this, I get their emails, so I know what's coming first. And you guys should do that for any brewery. Like Pipeworks is really good, Riverlands, Illuminated. I'm sure I'm forgetting tons, but Off Color.
Middle Brow is a fun one.
Middle Brow, yeah. Like get on their email chains. You'll know the beers before they come in. And then when they're in, you'll know exactly what it is, what you're looking for, and if you want it. But yeah, I saw this logo, like the whole thing. It's hard to rotate around. I was like, that's hot. Need that. Even if it's a bad beer, which it clearly is. I love that can. It's the coolest logo. So I'm going to do what Matt's doing. I'm going to grab the next beer.
All right, next beer. Here we go.
I also also heard that if you drive up curbside to Beer on the Wall and you yell out "I love ABV," it's $5 a 4-pack, guys. So
Are you
I mean,
guys
we haven't
subsidizing that?
negotiated that, but that's a suggestion.
That's fine. Oh, these guys went to go get their beer.
Don't say that.
And it's fine. We probably can't hear you because we're just rocking Pantera at all times these days. And no one's in the store, so it's, whatever we want.
Is there Pantera happening in the background?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay.
When Josh was closing, there was definitely some Primus and some other things going on.
When I've been there after closing, it's always Primus.
Yeah, it's always Primus.
Like that's an Eric thing, right? Or is that a Josh thing?
That's pretty much the entire store.
Okay.
Even Molly's known to just throw on some Primus to just make it happen.
Nice.
Oh no, we lost Matt completely. I'm sure he'll come back. I'm not waiting for him. I'm going. Look, I even have proper glassware.
Me too.
Hey.
Says drink saisons.
Drink saisons
hazy.
as I
Drink
finish a
hazy
hazy IPA.
Saisons.
But hey, can we explain why this is hilarious for those that don't know, haven't been following you? Because it's
Is it now?
I think so. You guys are ABV Chicago are Saison fanboys, to say the least, and Saisonathon 2020. What do you cancel? But Saisonathon is always a good time, and there it is. Look at that. That is something else. Maybe celebrity will show up. You never know. And it's just a great time to drink local saisons, tons of them. If you don't think you like them, you're wrong. You do.
This was the year that it was at Pub Royale, and
Right.
we ran into Joe Latrulio of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the state. That was that year.
That show is so good.
That was awesome.
There you go. Drink saisons or a hazy IPA.
We just got word that one of our people in our chat.
Oh,
actually
yeah.
had his wife drank his mirror ball, so he can't. Sorry, Nick. Looks like you get to sit this one out. Maybe you have a megabyte. You can just join in with that.
I mean, megabyte, no doubt.
I bought a 4-pack of Mirror Ball, not knowing what was in the virtual pub pack. That was a little.
What are you gonna do about that?
I mean, I'll drink them, but I was like, well, I would have gotten the megabyte maybe then.
Yeah.
And I generally am, as a beer owner, I'm generally against surprises. I feel like you should probably know what you're getting into when you buy
Surprises suck.
stuff.
Let's be honest.
But I don't know, with the virtual pub idea, I was kind of like, I don't know, I wanted people to just buy it and drink with us and realize that there may be hype, but there also may be some styles that you don't drink normally, and kind of just force you to be like, yeah, let's try some new stuff. Let's try some saisons, or let's try some Belgian style
A strong
golden ale.
Belgian
Yeah.
golden ale.
Right.
I'm not gonna,
Let's
I'm not gonna
try
jump
some
to
new
that,
breweries and
but
try
I'm
some
very
fun stuff.
excited for Reds.
So I picked some stuff from this. I picked the 4-pack, and I didn't want to tell anybody what it was because I wanted people just to kind of blindly just pick up 4 beers like they should do normally.
Did you want them to trust us?
I wanted them to.
Oh,
Am I cut off yet? Wait, I'm home.
is there some sort of secret message in the way that these beers were put together? Like, do I have to decode, like, National Treasure style? Like, is there...
We prefer that, actually.
You can go down that road, but I'll just tell you, it's just drink Ovaltine.
Oh, shit. Knew it.
It's nothing good. Trying to see if Matt has lost us for good or if he's resetting his router.
Yeah, he doesn't like us, right? That's what we decided.
Did he say he was going somewhere, or did his computer just fall over?
He did text me something nasty, though. I know.
Well, we'll just start.
Which is, we could troubleshoot, or we could just start drinking. It's a fun game.
Chris, this is not the first canning of Mirrorball. I believe this is the second running.
At least the second, yeah.
And Meg, sorry, the Mirrorball is all sold out. Sorry.
We
This
still
one's
have
not
some
available.
Megabyte, right?
We
What,
still have
got 2
Megabyte,
cases?
and Megabyte
No, less.
famously sat in the back of my fridge for about 7 months.
Yeah.
From the first canning, and I had it 7 months later, and it was still awesome.
Yeah.
So just a testament how well they brew.
That is one thing I've told a lot of customers, but this great platform to tell people. Obviously, with hazy IPAs, get kind of upset. Well, any IPA, I guess I should say, obsessed with freshness, which is certainly like beers will develop over time. They will change. It doesn't mean they get worse. It just kind of it's everyone's opinion. Like if you like them super fresh and green and like fresh hops to the max, get it within a couple days of drinking. Go for it. We always get hop butcher like the week of, a couple days old, if not the day of or a day old, and go to town. If that's the flavor profile you like, have at it. For me, I definitely like it when it settles down a bit. I give it usually like 2 weeks or so. This is super fresh, and I think it tastes awesome. But like Ryan said, like Hop Butcher is one of the few breweries. Actually, I wouldn't say few breweries. I don't experiment. I'm not sitting up here for that long usually, but some beers just hold up. They just hold up for a long time, and usually hazies don't. But for Hop Butcher, it just does. It's just how it goes. I actually, fun story. When I first started working at the store, our back room was a little different, and I was cleaning up something, and I found a Charlatan can that had rolled under a stack, and it had just had its birthday. It was a year and 2 weeks old, and we cracked it open, and it tasted great. It honestly tasted great. That's Maplewood Charlatan, a pale ale, and so don't take it for granted. Try it out yourself. I know I've heard brewers say, "Hey, buy the 4-pack, drink one down, drink one in a week or two, drink one in a month, drink one later than that. Like experiment and see what you like. It definitely helps keep them in the fridge if it's not a stout or a barley wine or something like that. But I'm not. I know I get that question a lot in the store, and I don't like to tell people like, "Oh man, past 4 weeks, you might as well throw it out or give it to someone you don't like." Because it's different for everyone. It's not a one half fits all.
Yeah, I'm like a 3-week Hop Butcher person. Like I'll buy a 4-pack, and if I'm so compelled, I might open one fresh, and then I always find that I shouldn't have done that, and I put the other 3 in the fridge, and 4 weeks later, I pop them open, and they're exactly where I want them to be. I just opened a Tavern Cut the other day, and I don't remember when Tavern Cut came out, but that was prior to quarantine, I believe.
Yeah.
So that was a couple weeks ago, and that was tasting fantastic. And I still have a green moss in my fridge, and that came out probably 2 months ago,
Nice.
maybe longer. Somebody was supposed to get us some Treehouse beers so we could do a blind tasting of Hop Butcher and Treehouse, but
Yeah.
things happen. It's okay. I get it.
Man, that guy sounds so unreliable.
I know.
Why you would ever trust that person? Fun story though. Yeah, fun little preview for those exclusive. Do we have a button like a little air horn?
Or
I don't have my soundboard hooked up.
Yeah,
we have a lot of things
Anyway,
that are
Hype
over
City
here in a
stuff.
queue that were supposed to happen, but are like the chat screen's not working. The stuff we're gonna fix a
We
lot.
lost. Matt died.
Matt died in the
Matt-
middle of the entire
Matt
thing.
can't handle his hops. We all know that. So it's the worst. But yeah, I have a good friend who lives in a little place called Connecticut. And it's very close to a little place called Treehouse, and I am actually going to be going out there unless a virus gets in the way in May. So it's far enough out, but no promises. But I was planning on bringing you back the freshest stuff and have a game plan. We can do a little show for that. So
Oh yeah.
if anyone out there knows, that's my in with ABV Chicago. I was like, I had a little road trip. What was it, 2016, when Treehouse was up at the location, and Priestley Boy's back, and
There we go.
drove out there and had time driving back. We were listening to a ton of ABV Chicago's. It was in October, so we were listening to some Bourbon County episodes, and I emailed you guys. I was like, "Hey, you guys want Treehouse and Alchemist and Hill Farmstead?" You guys were like, "Okay, yeah, dude." And then our love just flourished from there.
It's true. It's absolutely true. And then Craig drank your at the time girlfriend's beer at Beer Under Glass.
We're still bringing that up.
Yeah. Because
Well,
it was
she doesn't have Facebook right now.
it was a
probably
Saint
has
Laurent
YouTube,
thing because we were at
though.
Saint Laurent.
Yeah,
And Craig was
first time.
insistent that she try the Saint Laurent beer, but she still
Yeah.
had a beer in her glass. And
She
so he
had
took the
Dovetail.
glass,
Yeah,
and
Dovetail.
he chugged it for her,
Yeah.
and he gave it back to her, which in this day and age sounds terrible.
Yeah, that was not sober, Craig. Let's be clear. Beer under glass, Craig.
Oh,
Not your friend. He's kind of a
Not your
bully.
friend.
So kind of walked up with her Dovetail. She was so excited. She was like,
But he does just buy
wait
you pizza
for
for
this.
no reason whatsoever. So
She was like,
he's
this,
fine with
this,
me.
you know, this is when Dovetail, I mean, this was a couple years ago, like Dovetail just opened. They were
Yeah.
just getting big. They didn't
Oh, yeah.
have cans, you know,
Yeah.
like you had to go to the brewery. And she walked up and Craig was like, what is that shit? Give me that. Pounds it. And you're like, drink this stuff. It's awesome. And that was Saint Laurent right before they started making bottles with a microphone.
Yeah.
So I was happy that he had dragged me over there. But Kenna will never forget it. And of course, so she went back to Dovetail's tent to get more, and they were done. They were
Oh, God.
so I owed her a little trip down to the brewery, and as much as we try to bury it, it just gets brought up all the time.
I know. Well, I don't have to be in a room with that asshole for a while, so we could just talk all we want. Hey, welcome back, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
And that's how you make a s'mores beer. Good night, everyone.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
But
We haven't even
Seriously.
talked about the aroma of Maribel yet.
I know.
We've been waiting patiently
I-
for you.
I don't know what's going on. I got problems. I don't know. I had to restart my whole computer. I came back. It wasn't just frozen. It said my network adapter had been turned off. I don't know what's going on. It's rough.
Well, get
And I'm not
yourself,
sure
get
it's
yourself a
over.
little Maribel.
Anyways, back to the beer.
You have the beer, though, right? No internet.
Yeah, I got it right
required.
here.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Yeah, let's dive in.
Here we go.
still smell a little green, but I mean, it's
Oh, yeah.
a lot of like melon and citrus fruit. It's
What
pungent.
we got here?
It's pungent. I don't get a lot of citrus myself. I guess I feel like the citrusy flavors are kind of buried in the middle, and I kind of feel like melon, real green melon for sure, like up
Yeah.
front and on the end, like bookending it, just a little tiny bit of citrus in the middle. But that's pretty aggressive.
Maybe a little onion character.
Yeah,
to
I'd
it,
say a
too.
little green onion,
yeah.
little foraged onion sort of quality to it. Ramps perhaps.
Ramps.
Pretty floral too, I think. I'm terrible with flower names, but
I can help you. Describe it.
I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
I'll just make up something.
The pretty one?
Yeah. No, it's a very perfumey kind of flower. It's not like a like more of like a dried.
Like a peonies?
Yeah, maybe like
Where you, like,
tulips
walk
or
past and
roses,
it just,
not
like, hits you in
not
the
like
face.
lavender, but like tulips and roses, like something very spring-like about it.
Yeah, I feel like the citrus just in there in the middle for a second, but otherwise I feel like I get, I don't know, like Centennial up front and a bunch of Mosaic on the end, and just a little bit of citra in the middle. Yeah, I was not expecting it to be so aggressive.
Can we play a fun game of how would you describe, like, because you're naming hops, and this is something I like to tell customers too. It's like a lot of people don't understand what hops bring, and it's hard to tell with beer like this. You got three very distinctly different hops. Like for most of us, like we've had a beer where each of these hops are singled out. We can kind of tell flavor profile. Like how would you describe the Mosaic you're picking up compared to the Centennial compared to the Citra?
How do I pick up Mosaic? It's gross.
There you go. That's strong opinions there.
Anything its flavor doesn't like,
Yeah,
really.
he's gonna point at Mosaic.
What don't you like about Mosaic? I'm curious.
To me, it smells like all the worst. It just smells like onions, and it smells like socks, and it smells like dank, horrible weed that like before you had money to buy good weed, you had to buy bad weed, and like it reminds me of that. It's just-
Theoretically.
in theory.
Can't relate.
Theoretically, since January.
There's no redeeming qualities about it aromatically. Flavor wise, it always ends up like extremely bitter and like really floral and again like oniony.
Yeah,
And I
agree with floral.
typically pick it out of a beer almost instantly, and I'm like, ooh. I get it. People love it. It's just it's not one I usually gravitate towards.
Go all the way with it. Like I like single hop beers with that hop quite a bit,
Sure.
but sometimes when it's mixed in with a few other ones, I feel like it takes over pretty quickly. And I feel like it's taking over a little bit in this one.
Yeah.
But if you like that hop, this beer is still cool. But but I feel like it's fighting a little bit with like the Citra.
The Centennial.
The Centennial is pretty strong in here, and I think that's like that's my favorite part about it is just this nice little piney note that's kind of blending with everything and kind of holding everything together. It's kind of like the glue in this one. The Citra probably emphasizing a little bit more of that dank, but I think like the Centennial really holds it together.
Can you name another single hop mosaic beer? Because I know we did one on the podcast, and I can't even come up with it off the top of my head. I could name single hop Citra and Centennial beers.
Sure.
I know that Hop Butcher did with the Lord Octopus was a mosaic only beer.
Yeah.
And Hubbard's Cave does one.
Yeah, Hubbard's does one.
Yeah, Hubbard's Cave. That's Hubbard's Cave is kind of the one I was thinking of. I like that one for sure.
Yeah,
This is
unfortunately,
go ahead.
I can think of Mosaic Promise from Founders. That's one that comes to my mind. But,
That's right. Oh yeah, that's a smash beer. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
I don't buy
that's
that
just
shit though.
that's all Mosaic, and that's one I'm like, whoa, no, I'm not drinking that.
For those that don't know, SMASH is an acronym: single malt and single hop. So you really get the emphasis on not only the malt build, which most people ignore, but not ignore, but it's not, especially with an IPA, it's not the forefront of the beer. Like the hops are coming through over anything else, but the malt is still important for obviously the backbone. You heard us talking about that with the lager, it had some sweeter, ready malty notes because the hops in there are not the aggressive type. That's not the point of that beer. So, Smash beers are awesome. They're a good way to learn what a hop and a malt combo tastes like. There's a lot of good ones. I think locally, I find most of the either smash beers or single hop beers are pale ales, actually. And a lot of breweries do pale ales, and if you look it up, they just use a single hop in it, whether it's Simcoe or Mosaic or Citra. And those are some of my favorites, for sure. Just simple, clean, nice, hoppy bitterness, maybe a little balance with the fruity notes and the floral notes.
Okay.
That's what I look for.
Sosis from Top Line Goliath.
Oh, good call.
I
Is,
couldn't remember if it was Pompeii or Sosis. I knew one of
which
them
we
was.
absolutely flew through.
Is
I
beer
was gonna say I was gonna have
Okay.
some, and I didn't get a chance to have it before it was gone.
is Beer Hates Astronauts from Half Acre? Is that a smash beer with Citra?
Ooh,
It is a smash beer.
I want to say it was.
it is a
you know
smash
it's-
beer.
I know it's
I
only a
guess
Citra beer.
That's a good guess. I'll bet that's right.
That's an incredible beer.
Yeah,
that's really
when that beer first came on the scene, man, that beer and that plus that
Vienna
artwork and
malt
stuff,
and
it's
Citra
just like-
hops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That beer rules.
Smash.
Not to.
we have a listener texting in.
Oh, hey.
Tighthead Bear's Choice.
Okay.
John?
Yep.
Somebody
Yeah.
just shut that guy. I mean,
Oh,
we
that's-
like him. We like him.
I read.
Anyone knows Rick Julian?
Oh, head
He's a
caller.
troublemaker, but his beer knowledge is insane.
I've not had Bear's Choice.
Yeah.
Jonathan Ankney is recommending we get a Kickstarter going for Matt's Internet.
Should we start GoFundMe?
I told Ryan this the other day, I actually literally just upgraded to 100 megabytes per second 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
But with everybody online as often as people are these days, it's been real spotty the last week or so.
No doubt.
Rough, man.
No doubt. I have to see post-virus.
Yeah, generally it's been pretty good. I don't know, up until recently.
Let's segue into something not related to beer. Have you been able to play Red Dead at least? Has that been running smooth?
I have, yeah, I played Red Dead. I had no problems whatsoever.
With
Hooked
with
up with
coworkers,
Tyler.
right? Yeah,
with Eric,
Tyler and Eric.
They probably have a posse going right now, just murdering left and right.
They didn't invite you.
They probably know I'm here. I'm sure they know I'm here. That's probably why.
Yeah,
They're not
they
watching
do.
intently to see what the store is doing when they're not here hanging out.
first two are just chock full of folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my Wii bowling has been really slow lately.
Ooh,
You haven't,
wacky even?
you haven't switched.
Yeah,
You haven't
a
upgraded
lot
the
of people
Switch?
on the server.
Oh man,
Um,
Nintendo's got to clean that up.
everyone's drinking this now, right? We're actually drinking this.
Oh yeah, I've been
We're in
drinking
it.
for
Okay, good.
10 minutes.
I know.
You started talking about video games, and I was like, well, time to drink.
I know. I was trying to follow the ABV format, ABV Chicago
Yeah.
format, where we smell and then
Yeah,
drink.
look, smell, drink. Yeah, we're not
Um,
too good at following that format.
We get sidetracked very easily over here, so we're just bringing
It's
it
true.
down.
Gotta have fun.
There's a little sweetness in here that I think does really well with the Mosaic.
Yeah.
Without that sweetness, I think I wouldn't really be able to latch onto this. I think just a little bit of something that keeps me coming back for every sip. That Mosaic tends to, for me, to just like dry out my mouth and make it all about just like a fresh garden and like, something very herbal and oniony. But that little bit of sweetness kind of makes it more like a French onion soup instead.
There you go.
I taste
it's
a burnt crouton with cheese on it.
Whoa.
Okay, all right.
What kind of cheese?
I don't.
Parmesan.
They said croutons. I smell crouton in the
Cheese.
malt bill.
Our suggestion. Dangerous. Be careful, people. Our suggestion.
I do still
Make
think the best.
decisions before you hear crouton garbage.
I do think the best days of this are still ahead of it. It's still a little. I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
like I've
I
had
tried to read my kid. I
ones
think
that
it's 5
burn
days
worse.
old.
Yeah.
5 days.
It's not the worst hop burn I've gotten, but it's just I don't know. It's not what I want it to be. I want a little bit of that to take a step back because it's still a little green for me in some ways.
Yeah, once you said green onion, Ryan, I'm unable to taste much else. You said that, actually. But the body's great, the color's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do get some green onions on the end. But with a little bit of time, I'll bet he's right. I'll bet it would be a little easier to get into.
Yeah, it's interesting for me because for me, my favorite combo in any sort of hoppy beer is such a mosaic. Just like the 1-2 punch is the perfect thing. And throwing Centennial in there, I'm not mad about. But I think this is still kind of doing a little bit of this, where it's Apex, and it's really good right now. But yeah, Citrus Mosaic always gets free. That's what Double Grid is. Also, obviously, before Double Grid is Grid, which is a pale ale. I still remember when I started working at the store 2 years ago, and we had stacks of that sitting around because it wasn't high pacey IPA, but man, you can't argue with the good old pale ale. Sometimes just a slightly lower ABV, especially in a 16-ounce can, is a good thing. Yeah, we're all being very cautious today with the we got 3 16-ounce cans and then the heavy hitter in a 12-ounce. So, that's your goal. Go for it. But I'm trying to give you honest opinions, not drunk ones.
I'm trying to give you drunk opinions.
Oh,
That's what I'm here for.
right. Where do we invite him?
So Ryan, listen, how do we get at some of these comments and answer some questions? Because I hear word on the streets we're getting a fair number of them and we're not acknowledging them.
I'm trying to like. There's a couple that are coming in. People just saying some stuff. I'm trying to read them to you. If anybody has any questions, I'm just reading them back. Or questioning people. Marie is noting that the Green Onion Note is not selling this beer.
Yeah.
Wait, Maria's here?
Marie's here,
Hi, Marie.
and Jennifer says this mirror ball is delicious. And Jason thinks you're on dial-up.
I'm actually calling through. I have one. I'm actually talking through a phone on.
Yeah, the Green Onion.
And Scott is playing World of Warcraft while he listens to this online, so he's definitely gaming too. There's some gaming going on.
I was just reading some comments. Yeah, I mean the Green Onion. That is something that is not always persistent. Like we said, like these beers can change over time. They can, like, I think what we all can agree on is like freshness. Like if you're looking for that floral green, whether it's green onion or just a vegetal, like very raw hop note. If you love that, get in there, get a beer, drink it within the first weekend it was canned, and drink local because you're gonna get it faster. But if you're looking for something a little less of that, more of like batch to batch, like they go for consistency. It doesn't mean they're always going to hit it. Or it may not be what you remember. You know, your palate changes over time too. I used to hate Hefeweizens, and then last summer it was just like, holy crap, I need Hefeweizens all the time. Like, they're so good. I blame Dovetail, I think, but you know, your palate's going to change. So even if it's a beer, you're like, yeah, this is banging. I had it 2 years ago. It may taste completely different, whether the recipe is the same or not. So you know, that's what keeps us all coming back and interested, especially in the local market. Like, there's just always good things coming out, whether it's new or a rebrew, like we talked about. This was made maybe once before. You know, you just gotta have it again.
And also comment on the can artwork. The name of the beer brings to mind the Pearl Jam Neil Young collaboration from I don't even know 1995 maybe 96 something like that, and it's called Mirror Ball, and it's got the same sort of color scheme happening on it. Doesn't I mean I don't know, this one's the disco guy on it, so maybe it's got nothing to do with that, but it sure brings that to mind. That's all. I'd like to take a second to speak about the artwork.
Yeah, if Matt knows anything, he knows a lot about beer and a lot about music, so I trust him. There's probably some intention there.
And this is one of my favorite Jetsa labels, which is actually how his name is pronounced, which blew my mind.
I know you guys on the call can't see it, but I did get at least the Facebook chat windows now up on Facebook Messenger and also on YouTube. So
Nice.
at least people can see that.
Sweet.
I don't know how any of this works, so I'm oblivious to comments right now. I have no idea.
I'll read them. I'll just read them off for you guys, and then if anybody has any questions or comments, I'll just throw them out there.
Actually, before we move on, I'm just going to mention that, you know, we're picking apart the hops and stuff in this beer. The fact is, though, is that I just generally do like Hop Butcher beers, and I really like the mouthfeel, and I love the color of most of them. And so it's kind of like it's nitpicking a bit, you know what I mean? To say like, oh,
That's a very good
crazy
point.
about this particular hop, because in general, I really enjoy these. And if I wasn't drinking this the scholastically, thinking about it too much, and I was just hanging out and talking, having or whatever, like I wouldn't really have anything to say about it at all. I'd probably just be enjoying it. But since we're talking about it, it's like, yeah, there's like certain hops that I'm not in love with, but it's, you know, even a not my favorite Hop Butcher beer is still a pretty good beer, you know.
That's a really good point, because like we've been focusing on flavors, but I just dove back in right when you started talking there, and like for 7.5%, like it is extremely smooth. Like Hop Butcher always nails the mouthfeel. It's never like this harshness or like really big or like really watery. It's like just right, exactly what you expect. And I think that's the beauty of Hop Butcher, is consistency and that. And then obviously, like, you know, changing the hops up will, you know, it's hard to tell week to week. If you hold them and do side by sides, you're going to tell differences. But like, you know, you're going to get awesome beer, 7.5%, lots of hops, lots of sweetness, and like we're just picking out those little things. You may not taste green onion. You may not only taste green onion because we said that word. You know, we said a lot of other words, but like that's why for me, I like diving into a beer and seeing what my brain goes to first, and then talking to other people and saying, hey, what did you get out of this? You know, we do that a lot when we get a fresh beer in the store, and we're really curious about it. And I just think it's really important to kind of get your own opinion going, see what you think, and start to learn your palate, start to learn what flavors you can pick out, or, you know, maybe it's muted. You know, an IPA, obviously delicious when it's cold.
I mean, I'm not even the IPA guy, and I get green onion a lot, but people love certain beers, and they don't really realize that that's why they love it. And that, but I mean, I'm not saying, again, like, it's not a bad thing that there's a green onion like aroma in it. Like, that's usually pretty unique and adds like a lot of complexity to it.
Totally. And I will say too, like, I don't always pull green onion out. Like, for me, it's rare, and sometimes I'll hear Ryan say something, I'll be like, okay, dude, like, I don't get that up. So it's not like, you know, we're sitting up here like telling you what to taste. It's just that, like, when, you know, everyone's got a different palate, we're all diving in there, seeing what it is. But overall, I think we all know Hop Butcher has been on a roll. That's an understatement. But, you know, lots of local breweries. They're always making good stuff. It's just kind of like figure out what your palate loves, whether that's a certain type of style of hop, whether that's a certain style of beer, and then lean into that. We're always here for you to say, hey, grab a can of something new. If you think it sounds weird, just try it. You don't know until you try it. That's kind of what we're all about.
Couple
Does anybody
questions.
remember? It was like 2, maybe 3 years ago. The 2-month span where Hop Butcher beers came out and they sat on the shelves for like.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, Grid, and they're awesome. What was the Saison name? Paris.
Yeah, Paris in the Prairie, something. Paris in the Prairie or something
Paris in
like
the
that.
Prairie.
Awesome.
Oh, I love that beer.
Awesome.
With lavender
beer.
honey.
That was their
Yeah.
saison, like hazy saison or something.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, there was a little time where I was worried that the hype was fading from Hop Butcher because it started out so strong when they started doing the hazy cans after they had changed from South Loop and Hop Butcher and all that. It took a little bit to catch on, but once it did, it just like took hold. And then for like 2 or 3 months, I remember Craig and I saying like, "Oh, there's Hop Butcher beer. It's just sitting there. It's just sitting there on the floor."
Yeah.
And then after that 3 months, it's like, "Oh, it's just gone. It's always gone."
It was when
It's
Blazed
gone in
Orange
3 days.
when Blazed Orange
Yeah.
came out. That was when everyone forgot. Everyone remembered how great it was, and they picked it up again.
Yeah.
As a retailer, I will tell you that is the exact moment that they stopped sitting and they started picking up again.
Was Blazed Orange Milkshake? Was that part
Blazed
of it
Orange
too? Because I
Milkshake,
feel like when that hit, that took off.
That was in summer 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that caught a lot of people's attentions. I mean, that beer at that time, like, it wasn't even like just like a good batch. It was like a moment, like summer drinking a drinkable beer, like unreal flavors. Like there weren't a lot of other milkshakes that were hitting that style. Like that's why people kind of blew up about it too. I feel like it was just good timing. Yeah, that, and then they were like, oh yeah, and then we double Blazed Orange. Oh,
Couple questions. Chris is.
Not to, I don't want to like pat my own back here or talk about the podcast too much, but
no, go for it.
Jeremiah from Hop Butcher reached out to us because he had been a listener of our show and said, "Hey, we just changed our name and we're doing some cool stuff out of this Aquanaut space," and so that's what they were. I think Alt Prop out of there, if not Contract. I think it was Alt Prop. And they had a couple of things. They had not quite done the hazy thing yet because it hadn't taken hold. But I remember some of those early, like Ale America was one of their earlier ones that came out in cans. It was fantastic.
That's a single hop was it.
Yeah, that's good call. Great beer. But then as soon as that happened, it just, I mean, when we went there, we were kind of like, what is this brewery even about? Like we were like, I guess. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy. Let's just go out there and talk to him and see what happens. And then they subsequently became, the hypiest brewery in Chicagoland for a solid 4 years. They're just such good guys too. I root for them. I mean, Jude and Jeremiah alone. I mean, I know that their operation's much bigger than that nowadays, but man, those guys are just the nicest, most genuine guys. Jude calls me randomly just to talk to me for 45 minutes about whatever's on his mind,
Yeah.
and I won't hear from him for 6 months, and then he'll just call me again. And that's just the kind of guys they are. They're good people. So whatever hype is behind them, I'll support them regardless. But I usually kind of step back and let everybody else buy their beers because I know they're doing fine. They don't need they don't need me to purchase it. But I mean, we're always more than happy to talk about them on the podcast because they rarely disappoint.
True.
And Matt Murray was wondering why they don't have a signature beer, and I think that's really mostly because this is kind of their model, kind of like how Pipeworks for forever didn't really have a signature beer. I think they were the ones that kind of pioneered the idea of like we don't have a one that we put out all the time. Last time I talked to Jeremiah too, he was saying,
they're restless. I feel like their restlessness is one of their.
Gotta have fun with it, right?
Well, I mean, early on, I think it was driven by hops and like what they could get their hands on, and they didn't have, they were kind of just, they had to whatever came along in the market, in the spot market for them to buy, they would just buy it and they would make a beer and they would, they'd put it out. Now I know they have some really nice hop contracts and they can do things with a little more regularity. But at the same time, they've been doing so many beers now. When I talked to Jeremiah for 45 minutes, he's like, we have so many beers now, we don't even know. He was like, every time we put a new beer out, he's like, oh man, every time we put one beer out, 3 people tell us, when's this coming out? He's like, we just can't keep up with everybody. So because now we have like so many beers that are everyone's favorites, we just can't keep up.
Yeah.
And then
And there's random ones too that are like, somebody's like, oh, neon green relish, that's my favorite. I'm like, I didn't even realize that existed. But
I have green moss and neon green relish,
Right.
and sometimes I get confused too. But yeah, those two are stellar.
Real good.
Oh yeah.
So back to Matt's point, yeah, Ninja Unicorn. Eventually, they put that in. That was kind of the first one they put in cans, and then they actually now they have some flagships. If Hop Butcher does open a tap room one day, I imagine they'll probably have some. They'll probably go similar. Maybe they won't. We don't know.
Yeah. That's a really solid point because I know a lot. I've had that question a lot at the store. It's like, oh, you guys sold out of this. Cool. When are you going to get it? It's just like, great question to ask the brewers. Like, a lot of it is dictated by hops. That's something actually shout out to Ryan and the podcast is your guys talking about Saint Laurent again. Those guys flew on your radar for a long time. I absolutely love that people recognize the quality of beer they were brewing. But when you guys interviewed them and they talked about, listen, like, yeah, we're just trying to get hops from people. And, like, if we can get the hop to make the beer, like, that was, like, for me, I was like, oh, yeah, that is how it works. So, like, it's not always like, yeah, we're just sitting out hops. You know, like, you have to get them fresh. You have to get them from somewhere. And the hop market is, like, a whole beast in itself. So, like, it's not always like, man, we really want to make this beer, but, like, who knows how long we have to wait because we have to get Nelson Sauvin, and that could take months, you know. So that's a big thing too. So you know, we do at breweries like Hop Butcher, where like no matter what they're making, we expect great quality, and they pretty much always deliver. And that's awesome to have consistency like that. But a lot of times it's like it stinks when you can't get neon green relish. What do you do? And that's where I say, hey, what hops are in there? Try to find some other hazy beers using that hop and see if they compare. It may not be as good, but you know, you got to start somewhere because you know, a brewery like Hop Butcher, like you can rely on them week to week to give you something fun. But if you're looking for something, you know, year round where you don't have to like, you know, just hope that they're making it again. You know, you got to find that brewery like Half Acre or Pipeworks or Revolution where they are cranking out the same thing every week along with variations. And not every brewery can afford to do that. But man, if you love Ninja, it's always there. You got it.
Rick is now drinking a Fruit Slave and also just had a Velton shower beer. So I think it's time to
Dude,
run that next beer.
Fruit Slave. Talking about Illuminate again. Fruit Slave just came out. That's fresh hazy. I drank mine the other day. That's a great beer. It's got some really cool hops in it too. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think there's 3 or 4. There's some of the not so popular ones, but man, that's a good hazy IPA. Underrated.
All right, who's ready for next beer?
Next beer.
Going Belgian?
We're going Belgian.
I'm doing bathroom break, and I'll be right back.
All right,
Ruben.
that's fine. I'll just.
I will.
Hey, everybody.
I don't want to. All right, Matt's putting. That's it. So low res. Love low res.
Explain. I know.
It just started canning.
Yeah, we're an hour in. We're in our 3rd beer.
Yeah, we gotta hit the 3rd beer for sure. But low res is awesome. Their tap room is sick. Obviously, probably not open right now, but man, there's stuff in cans. I was so excited to see that. This Damon, I don't know if they call it a flagship, but it was definitely their staple. Like they definitely highlighted it when I was visiting the brewery. And what else did we get from them? We have the Berliner Weiss
We
with
got the cranberry shortcut, and we have.
cranberry.
I'm trying to see if
And,
I can actually. The lights are off.
We also
so I can't
got
see anything.
stout with hazelnuts and cocoa nibs. I forgot blanking on the name, but so happy to see another local brewery getting cans out because for a lot of people, you know, they can't visit the breweries, can't get growler fills and stuff like that. So it's just great for us to get cans in a local brewery that kicks butt. And yeah, I'm gonna go grab my can. Sorry, Ryan.
No, it's fine. I'll
Oh,
just
there you
talk
go.
because
Get another Ryan. There you go.
This is one of my favorite styles that's out in general, like just out there at any given time that people just completely ignore and forget about. And it's one that I think just deserves more practice. And Nick just hit it on the head here. He's saying about a huge head. Yeah, when you pour a beer like Duvel or you pour a beer like Chimay, like you want these enormous cascading heads on these beers, and the reason for that is because these beers are so aromatic, they're so fruity, so like phenolic and laden with all these different flavors that I mean, half the fun of drinking these beers is because they just have so much coming out of the glass. So this beer is, and typically Belgian strong ales like Duvel tend to have devil references. So that's how you typically know them, as they will also have some kind of devil character on them. In this case, Damon. Which fun little history. Just kind of like how Doppelbocks usually have a TOR suffix at the end of them, or have a goat reference to them at some point. Belgian strong ales now have like this, I don't know, like not a cult following because no one actually cares or drinks about them besides select few. But they're a really fun style, and you don't see many breweries doing them. And whenever I see one, I always kind of get excited just to try it.
Definitely.
So I poured a nice big enormous head on this because that's what you should do.
Was that on the Cicerone test that a lot of Doppelbocks have a TOR suffix to them?
That was not on either exam. That's just my own observation. But I mean, Optimeter.
Now that you say that, though,
yeah.
You're absolutely right. I didn't notice that.
That's what you want, like a nice, like you should be able to just pick it up and just like hold it in your finger.
Getting like
that's what you want.
Like a Willy Wonka bubblegum.
Make sure you've washed your hands before you do that.
Yeah, jeez.
Always
Go wash them right now, please.
Wash them twice.
Did you wash it?
Belgians
Did you wash it
took me a
again?
long time to get into
Wash it one
because
more
of
time.
the floral nature of it. Like you were saying, bubblegum. They definitely, the flavor profile is not hoppy. It's not bready. Well, sometimes a little bit, but not like a lager. And for me, it was something like what I was talking about before. Is just like when I was young, didn't appreciate it, didn't care, and I definitely warmed up to it a lot. And now I love them.
Also,
It's
shout out to
bubblegum,
Kieran,
though.
who's
It's like
on our.
It's like a Willy Wonka bubblegum garden where you're walking along the garden and out of the ground are
Not
growing,
everyone's been there, all right, dude? All right.
growing
Stop
like
bragging.
bubblegum bubbles are growing out of the ground and you're smelling them as you walk past.
Oh, sorry,
Must be
Josh.
nice. Must be nice.
We got
I
three
didn't grow up
dads
with
here.
a
We
golden
got
ticket in my fucking mouth. Mad.
got 3 dads here. We're at Bubblegum Mountain every 3 weeks.
I slept in a bed with all of my grandparents, and I never got to go to the goddamn candy factory.
Shout out to Kieran, who's online, or Karin, who's online. Sorry, I always forget how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. I can spell it, though, but he's been in here literally every day buying beer for the last 2 weeks, just grabbing a 4-pack and grabbed a virtual pack. So cheers to you. Thanks for keeping us around.
I told you I'd see you later. I told you.
You did. You said that. You said that literally. I was here.
You
In
can't
this
see him now,
exact
so you're
location.
lying,
You
Josh.
know what?
Game of Thrones
Bunch of
glass.
dads.
Game
Game of Thrones. There you go.
Interesting.
Is that all right? So is that from the books in the show, or is that like they have a whole beer line too?
Oh my gang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an open gang.
Oh, there it is.
It's kind of tulipy. It's tulipy, so I thought I would use
Gotta
this
have
one.
a tulipy thing. That's pretty fun. I have a really fun one from Imperial Oak, another great brewery. One of my favorites. Awesome tulip.
Also,
I'm
I feel like
biased.
this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm totally biased. I love this beer. I've had this beer on many
Cool.
occasions.
Yeah, it's really nice.
When they're at a festival and they're pouring this, I seek it out from them. I love Low Res, and Kevin and Dave are just really, really good dudes too.
Totally.
When I first had a smell of this, I got a little bit of an American hop character to it. Something a little bit more piney, something a little floral. But now that I've had a sip and like the bubbles have kind of subsided, this is really a trip to Bubblegum Mountain. This is just like opening up a tape of like.
More of a garden. It's really more of a garden.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Bubblegum
established it was a
garden.
garden.
All right, fine. Bubblegum garden. What are those? It's not like fruit by the foot, but you had like the bubblegum that had like the tape. You like pulled it out and it had like dust on it. What
Bubble
was that?
tape.
Bubble
Bubble
tape.
tape.
All right, bubble tape.
Bubble tape.
This smells like bubble tape.
You know that bubble gum that was like a tape?
You know, I had a friend that did that
You know-
once. Oh man. So
You know
funny.
that shredded gum that was like a chew? It was like big, and you chewed it in Little
Like
League. What was that
big.
called?
And you had it
What was
in
it called?
League.
Thing and
It was-
big chew.
What was that one that was? It was really fun to and it had a stick, and then you dipped
To
it.
dip?
It was really
Yeah,
really fun.
I don't remember.
Also, at the risk of sounding like I'm doing a in my day, but I feel like you couldn't get away with Big League Chew today. You couldn't get away with selling
Not with that attitude. Come on now.
tobacco, right?
The kids are vaping bubble gum now anyway, so
Are they? Big League vape.
First
Big League
of
Chew.
all, stop watching this. It's like, stop it.
Nick
Go to
is
bed,
asking
kids.
about
Go to
drinking
bed.
glasses and do they matter? He's currently drinking this out of a Lagunitas canning glass, and do you think that's going to affect his drinking experience a whole lot?
all right.
I have to say, well done, low res. I'm gonna try to let's see if we can get it on here. Look at that, all that info, just a little corner of the can. You got IBUs, you got ABV, you got the size, 16 ounces, 1 pint, and we've got gravity, visual gravity. Awesome. Super good.
To Nick's question, it
Belgian
doesn't.
beers are dangerous. Like a strong ale or a triple, 8.5%, 9% pretty much every time. And holy crap, you gotta watch yourself. My mom got in a little trouble one time. We went to what's the one I'm totally blanking right now? It's the brown line, right by Wrigley. They make some really good hazies. Corridor. She's very particular. She doesn't like hops. She really likes her barrel aged stuff. But she latched onto their Belgian triple and ordered 2 big ones. And Belgian triples are always 9% right on the nose. And man, she was like, "Oh, hello!" Like 30 minutes later, like 30 ounces of a triple, and you're gonna feel that for sure. So tread lightly, but this is damn good.
Yeah, this does not drink like 8.5%. That's one of the more remarkable things about it. It's so easy to drink, and the bubble gum is present, but it's also just there's a crisp like lemon character to it too. There's a nice citric character. It's not like usually I pick up a little bit more of like maybe a peppery note from Belgian yeast, but it's not there on this either. Especially when American brewers tend to do Belgian style beers. This is so easy drinking, and man, they this is one of the first beers that they ever made, as far as I remember, because we were out there before in Pilsen before they opened, and that was it was.
Would you call this a flagship or just one of their first recipes?
It's tough to call because they had the Public Declaration and one or two others I can't remember off the top of my head. But I've always considered this to be like their core beer.
Poster
But
child, yeah,
it'd be really weird to go for an 8.5% Belgian style golden ale
every time.
as your core beer. But
Yeah.
I mean, low res rules, man.
Listen,
This
the
reminds
rips
me
are rips.
of Damnation by Russian River a little bit, which I haven't had in a long time. But first few
Wow.
times I had that, I was like, "Ooh, that's real good." And it's just not a real common style for American breweries, obviously. But that's another good one. This reminds me of that. I'm pretty sure that's a Belgian strong golden ale.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was one of the few Russian River beers you could buy on the shelves like 7 years
Right.
ago. When you were out
You're right, because it's not like a barrel aged sour. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
but still, it's awesome.
I definitely get like a honey butter fried
Right.
chicken biscuit in here, like just some, or maybe like a Popeyes biscuit with some honey on top.
Oh, some biscuit, yeah. There's some sweetness underlying. I think what's really really good about this beer is just super crisp finish, light, crisp like a pilsner, just absolutely clean as hell. Not a ton of bitterness, only 35 IBUs, but I think the American hop character kind of helps with that.
I'm
It's just
shocked at 35
a lot of
IBUs. I
funny
feel like
sweetness,
this is
and then just like the finish keeps you going back. I don't know if I'd call it dryness. I don't really feel that. Maybe it is, but it doesn't come off that way. But like you put it down, you're like, when I put it down,
a little bit of that like cotton candy note, where like cotton candy just kind of like evaporates onto your tongue a little bit.
Yeah.
It's effervescent. It's mostly sweet, but I don't know. 35 IBUs kind of surprises me. I thought it would be much lower than that. But
Yeah.
IBU is kind of a BS unit.
It doesn't come off as bitter.
You were quiet at the end there, Ryan. Would you say it surprised you? And then
I was just saying that IBUs are kind of a made-up unit. I know it's a
There you
real
go.
thing, and I know what it is. It just doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't talk about what else is in the beer. It's
Sure. It's one aspect. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I've
how
used.
awesome is this guy, by the way?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they have a rotating cast of local artists that they bring in for these can offerings, and they're all super eye catching. Especially these 16-ounce cans. I feel like
So great.
their 12-ounce cans of the Declaration were not quite as eye catching as these, but everything I've seen in this is really cool. Yeah, I like this.
I think that's the best part.
It's like a Hellboy vibe.
Yeah,
or like there's like a Black Sabbath album with like a little demon baby on it that brings to mind.
the artist is
I think.
Feds.
It's awesome.
It's at FEDZ Art, and he's based out of Berwyn, which is like
There you go. Titled
next-
The Beast.
it's like
Beast
right.
also right on
right
the
over
can. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, artwork. Yeah.
I love looking. I'm looking at Josh's video of the can when I actually have my own can right here that I can look at for some reason.
Like, oh, hold it closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can look right there.
Love it.
Yeah, this beer's amazing.
I
love
have to
this.
put this down because I have one more beer to go and I'm gonna be drunk by the time I finish.
Pick it up. When I pulled this one out, I also pulled this one out, trying to let it warm up a little bit. Just a little bit. I still like a cold stout, but closer to room temp it gets. It's like that's where it's at.
Ready to move on to stouts? Stout time?
Yeah, I gotta get it flowing.
Stouty, stout.
All right. While
do
while
so
you guys
much
are
fun.
doing, Nick
I'll
was
do it.
We
asking
still have to
about.
chug this 8.5%.
Oh wait. Here, let's.
All right,
do it.
we'll wait.
Yeah, final stretch.
Oh, hey.
Ooh, I got a little more than you, but hey, clink.
Clink.
I'm also noticing that you guys actually. That I'm watching myself like do like my swishing techniques and like. Ryan's the winner.
Well, I had more.
Ryan's the winner.
Come on. It's not fair.
Give Josh a little
contest.
credit. Yeah.
No one does. You know what? No one does. That's fine.
I had 3 deliveries to do before I drove a Dodge Stratus.
How'd you know about my car?
Josh does not drive a Dodge Stratus. I'm just.
I do not, but man, I wish I did.
Nick and Jason, I'm going to let you work out the plastic wrapper cheaper on a can thing. I don't know the answer to that question.
Ryan, you've been running through your best of Will Ferrell SNL
No,
compilations
I really
this,
have.
this quarantine, huh?
I made a reference to we were talking about the low res one, and and I made a reference to Will
was it the
Ferrell's-
Garth Brooks one?
Yeah, the Garth Brooks one, and then you definitely used the I was like, or Chris Gaines, right? Did I miss Chris Gaines?
Oh, Chris Gaines. Yeah, Ryan sent me a Will Ferrell SNL video a couple days ago, and it was great. I'd forgotten about it.
Oh, you must have forgot to send it to me.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I can't send everything to you, Josh. Not everything.
You could send something to me, aside from work.
We send cat pictures to each other. That's our connection.
No, actually, let's keep it professional. Don't send me anything.
Actually, stop sending me things.
Yeah, actually, stop.
I don't know.
cat
I don't know what it's like to see people who aren't in my immediate family like in person. So, I mean, I'm a little jealous of you guys, to be honest.
Also, Ryan,
Listen,
sweet
I've
headband.
only seen some 6 feet or further, so it's not that great.
Check out this sweet headband over here. This is awesome.
That's a snazzy headband.
Oh, thanks.
Where do you get a headband like that?
Well, if you're at Fobab and you run into a guy with a giant beard who's wearing that hat, he'll give you one. So
That's right. Now that you
my
mention it.
experience.
That's right.
I also
The hat
have
helps. The hat helps.
I have a fanny pack up here.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah, right by the Pilsner Kel. And
Oh, little guy. Little guys are so nice. That's where it's at. 32 ounce.
Make sure you guys buy some
I-
growlers. Hey, if anybody wants a growler of Hop Butcher, since you guys all love Hop Butcher, message us. Let us know. We got all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff for you.
Let us know. We got some kegs, and they can't sit around forever. I know we were talking about longevity, but like kegs are different than cans. We'd love to sell and use them.
Can I buy a keg?
Oh yeah.
Shut
yeah.
up.
You want a keg? We
Can
got
I
two
buy
kegs.
a
yes.
kegerator as well? Because I don't have one of those.
We can figure that out. Just give me like an hour, and I'll fashion one out of
Have I family
Oh,
members to drink it with me, or allowed in my house during quarantine, and also will help me finish a keg?
Yeah, you don't need that.
All right, stout time. Let's do it.
Okay, I gotta get it.
I've been sitting on mine, so here it is. There you go.
Oh.
A fun story. I was going to make a joke about shotgunning this, but coworker Eric has his hookup with Off Color, and he had an unlabeled can, and we were feeling rowdy one night, off the clock, of course, and he was like, "Shotgun it, you won't," and I don't back down. So I was like, "What is it?" He was like, "Well, listen, it's either like Apex or it's Coffee Dinosaurs, but I don't know." I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it. And guess
No,
what it
you
was?
had a choice of
Coffee
between like,
dinosaurs.
you had a choice between 2 or 3 bottles, and Eric was like, one of these is Apex, one of these is very, very far, and one of these is Coffee Dinosaurs. And
So I shotgun a Coffee
you had a 1 and 3. You were
Dinosaurs,
playing
16
Russian roulette or
ounce.
shotgun, and you lost. You got the Coffee Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that hurt real bad.
Luckily, one of our people was playing the drinking game. Every time someone says bubble tape, they have to drink. So
Oh
we just drank
man,
a lot.
The pinnacle of access when I was a child was when I had bubble tape, and I took that shit out of the plastic container, and I just bit into it. Like, I didn't unroll it. I took a
Savage.
bite out of it, and I felt invincible. Like, it was amazing.
Man, you've always been a rule breaker. That's why
I know.
like you. That's why I like you. Yes.
I was looking for Jared Jankowski's signature on this, and I don't.
I'm not
So,
used to
yeah,
it.
this
Usually,
can's got a lot of info, but no signatures. So
Is this a Jared beer? I mean, he left Goose Island, and this is where he's at, right?
yeah, Ryan. I was hoping you would give us the lowdown after your trip up to Milwaukee. You can give us the lowdown on all the Wisconsin.
when'd you go to
goodness.
Milwaukee?
In late June, early July, something like that, or no, July. Yeah, we went in July. We did not get up to Madison though, sadly. So we didn't get to Octopi, but we did go to Eagle Park and 1840 and Third Space, Venture and Lakefront. Just a bunch of shit. Milwaukee rules, man. I've been wanting to go back. I mean, I know that's probably going to get pushed back even further, but I've been meaning a trip back to Milwaukee because their beer scene is somehow underrated for being like the beer city of the United States. Milwaukee's beer scene.
That's hilariously true. Yeah.
But this is Octopi out of Madison, as far as I know. They run this, or no, I'm sorry, Wanaki. That's what it says. But they run kind of similar to, I guess, is it similar to what like Great Central is in Chicago, where they brew or alt prop brew or contract brew a bunch out of their facility? That's my
Yes.
understanding, at least.
I wanted to talk about that for sure. A lot of awesome beer gets made in their place, and it's good to see their beer too.
Yeah.
It comes from a good place.
Because Untitled Art is brewed out of Octopi Space, correct?
Got some Horus out of there, I believe, right?
Oh, okay.
Who else?
Yeah, Horace comes out of there.
Microphone.
That's right. Yeah. You're right.
If anyone's enjoyed cans of Microphone Hazelnut Imperial Smells Like Teen Spirit, I think it's right on the can from Octopi. I hope I'm right. I feel very confident this is wrong.
Feels right.
Feels
Is there any sort of connection to Untitled Art or Levi Funk at all in this? In Octopi?
I think I want to say that Octopi is Isaac, formerly of what's it called? Five Rabbit, right?
Oh, really?
I think he's the guy that Isaac Shawak. I want to say his last name, but I don't want to be wrong. But I'm pretty damn sure his first name is Isaac. But he went from Five Rabbit after that was kind of a contentious situation that there was some legal battles amongst owners of Five Rabbit. He went up to Madison and started Octopi as this kind of contract brew hub kind of a place, almost like what they have down in Florida that was giving us all that really bad pseudo soup for a while.
Ruh-roh. Called out.
I mean, come on.
Hot take. Hot take.
but-
It's real. It's real take.
Iowa or bust.
But Levi Funk, being a blender, I believe uses Isaac and Octopi as the brewery for some of his recipe ideas. I'm not even sure, and I don't want to undermine Levi Funk because he seems like a good guy. I don't know that he brews anything. I think that he's a recipe and idea man, even behind Untitled Art. And he kind of has Octopi and brewers there handle that, along with the breweries that he's collaborating with, if I remember correctly.
We have a user comment says that Octopi is a solo project and Untitled Art is them collaborating.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
You were
could be
saying
wrong.
Isaac Showaki.
That's right.
Yeah. Showaki.
Yeah.
And Levi.
So is Levi Funk one of the principal owners of Octopi, or is he just an Untitled Art guy?
Read that fast.
I'm just saying, you don't need a virtual background when you have
I
tap
train.
handles and a train.
I
Look
train.
at how empty
There's
this
nobody
train
on
is,
that
by the way.
fucking
Look
train,
at
yeah.
how
That's
All
the
of
funny
these
thing.
trains
We've
are
been like,
ridiculously
there's no
empty.
person on that train.
there's no one on this train. It's completely empty.
So it says founder Isaac Showaki has teamed up with one of the Midwest's most talented blenders, Levi Funk, to launch Untitled Art Brewing beer brand and champion small independent beverage producers in their fight against unfair franchise laws.
Whoa.
Yeah, there you go. I'm reading this from Forbes.
Okay.
And then Jason from Illuminated is saying that the Octopi is similar to Great Central. They both contract brew and have their own label.
Yes. Great Central does a lot of stuff. In fact,
Yeah.
Great Central, it's on this can again.
Oh, yeah.
Low res canned at Great Central.
There you go.
Right on
We're
the
bringing it
front.
full circle.
Weird fact that we did an Untitled Art show because I go to Kenosha probably 4 times a year just to buy new Glarus beers, and also to shop at
Sucker.
Woodman's and shop at Tunuda's and go to the Pleasant Prairie.
And you never bring us Moon Man. What the hell?
I will now.
There you go. Sorry.
But we did an Untitled Art show just based on stuff I picked up at Tunuda's, and it was one of our highest downloaded episodes of all time, and we had no expectation of that.
That's awesome.
It blows out of the water most everything else, and I didn't expect that at all. That's a weird.
How would you compare it to your Bourbon County shows?
It downloaded more than Bourbon County did last year.
But what about the Blind
the-
Vanilla show?
It was only behind the Hop Butcher Phase 3 blind show we did,
Oh, sure.
and the Eagle Park show, and then maybe the Blind Vanilla Stout show with.
Oh, hey, that show. Everyone should listen to that. Their blind shows.
It's a good one.
That is not much stuff. The only thing better than that is the torture shows for Halloween.
Well, and I was going to say this, that our Untitled Art show was such a success. It was great. And then we did our peanut butter blind show, peanut butter cup stout blind show. And the Untitled Art beer we had on that was one of the worst things I've ever had.
What? Oh,
serious?
man.
I hated it.
I think we disagree here.
Oh, it smelled like rotten. It smelled and tasted like rotten milk. It was terrible. It was terrible.
I do not remember it like that.
It smelled. It was clearly infected. Like there was something really wrong. with it.
We gotta
It was
revisit that
so
one. We
bad.
gotta have them rebrew that one and send it out to you. We had that and it was great.
Yeah,
I love
we
that
had
one.
it before it turned.
We were shocked because we
That's
had.
crazy.
It was later in the blind tasting, but as soon as we sniffed it, we said, "Oh my god, there is
That's
something absolutely wrong with this. This is horrible." And it tasted that way too. The aroma was worse than the flavor. The flavor was all right, but the aroma was
So that's something worth mentioning too. Is like obviously most breweries are going to recommend you drink their beer fresh. They make the beer ready for consumption. Just drink it. Don't sit on it. Don't wait. And maybe that's to cover their butts. Maybe it's because they want to ensure quality. But I mean that could be something like I said, like it came in our door. We cracked it open and thought it was great. You waited a little bit to do your show, whether that was 3 weeks or a month or longer, and it could have turned a corner. And if it was infected, or if the adjuncts were just too volatile or whatever you want to call it, like things change over time. Like that's just how it goes. Even if you have a what's it called called when the beer is boiled like a kettle sour? Pasteurized.
Yeah.
If it's pasteurized and filtered, and it should be super stable, you can still get something going on. And that's why for beer, like it's all about like, I mean, 90% of it is just keeping things clean throughout the process, and that's why beer's still coming in because they've been doing what now the world is doing for since the dawn of time. So you can't have a good beer unless you're going for a sour beer. Gotta keep it clean, 100%.
And I love most Untitled Art beers. I've rarely had bad ones from Untitled Art. So for me to say that Peanut Butter Cup Stout was terrible it kind of hurt to say that because I was really rooting for that one. It was Hidden Springs was the
I
club.
was in the bathroom. I missed this. That's we're talking about the peanut butter stout. That
Yeah,
beer was
You remember it?
delicious.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I was gonna say Matt Priest
That
and I
beer was
split
crazy.
one. We loved that one.
We opened that on a blind show, and it was probably a month in, and something went wrong. Something went really wrong. It was so clearly spoiled milk smell because I have two preschoolers who drink milk at night, and their milk cups sometimes roll under their bed or whatever it is, and I discover them 3 days later, and I open it up, and that was the smell that I was getting off of that beer, and the flavor was okay, but it's just something wrong in that one. You can listen to it on the ABV Chicago Peanut Butter Cup Line show.
Hear you gagging?
I would say
was brutal.
here's what most people remember is that beer came out a couple days, if not a week before Fat Bear.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I think Matt agrees with me, that I like that more than Fat Bear. Not that Fat Bear was bad. Fat Bear was Fat Bear was like a 9, and that beer to me was like a 10. Like I just thought it had what I wanted. And it's very interesting with the peanut butter beers. Like it's like, is it more peanut butter? Are you getting like the base beer at all? Are you getting some chocolatey? Is it balanced, or is it like leaning one way or the other? That's why every brewery in the world can make a peanut butter stout. You have to try them all, and they all be extremely different. And that's just the fun of it. And maybe for us, like I'm sure a lot of people, maybe some people had both and loved Hop Butcher, and can't complain about that. Like I mean, we had that Fat Bear undrafted. That was a good week or so. But
To be fair, we had it at our anniversary party in February, and the Fat Bear was on tap there.
Oh yeah,
it was the first pour I got, and I got 5 ounces into it before I said, "This is undrinkable. It is way too much, too sweet, too chocolate. It was too much." Then when we did that Peanut Butter Cup blind show, and that was probably a month and a half into that beer being canned, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was so good. And so like that beer even needed to settle down a little bit, but then that Untitled Art went the other direction for us. But it's interesting how even these adjunct stouts change over time.
Yeah.
As we've done our fair share of s'more stouts on the podcast, and this one I'm liking quite a bit. Honestly, it's really nice.
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's warmed up a little bit.
I definitely get the waffle cone note that I typically get from stouts that I like.
You say waffle cone?
Yeah, waffle cone. That's generally a good indicator of where I'm headed.
Let me look this
Waffle
up.
cone with vanilla ice cream?
When I think waffle cone, I think like you get that. Obviously, I mean, you get the obviously like the waffle and the bready notes from that, but I also like vanilla, like a nice combo of both those things at the same time. Is really solid.
It's a little vanilla extracty. Like it's a weird thing to designate, but it's a little bit like you put a heavy-handed like teaspoon of vanilla extract into something you were baking.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what goes into a marshmallow. I don't know how you make a marshmallow, and my guess is a marshmallow has vanilla extract in it.
It's
I
sugar,
could
vanilla,
text my friend Sarah Raymer, who's been a longtime listener of the show, because she makes marshmallows.
She does.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
She made marshmallows for us.
Ryan might know.
We've had those.
How
They're
marshmallows.
awesome.
They're fucking great.
They're
It's sugar.
so good.
I think it's just sugar, eggs, and vanilla. That's
They're
it.
so good.
Ryan, how do you make a marshmallow?
Sugar, eggs, and vanilla.
So you use like real vanilla, or
I mean, you
Tasty
can, of
mix.
course, like vanilla X. I mean, it sounds. I mean, Ryan sounds like he's a
Yeah,
dad
vanilla
like himself
extract
who's
usually.
made pancakes for his kids just way too
Yeah.
many times and just like smells that vanilla extract coming out
I always do.
coming
I
out and
sniff
going
it
into the
real deep.
yeah. Just get your nose
because
right
I
in
guess
there.
what I'm saying is, my guess is it. I agree with you. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I also feel like 99% of the marshmallows I've eaten in my life probably are made with vanilla extract.
Probably.
True.
So it's like I get the vanilla extract, but to me
Yeah.
it just kind of tastes like toasted marshmallows.
All right,
even
we got to get Sarah
Yeah,
Raymer to make us.
Marshmallows are kind of fake to begin with. You know what I mean?
We got to get Sarah Raymer to make us 2 batches of marshmallows. One with
Mhm.
vanilla extract and one with
I like-
actual vanilla
yeah.
beans.
I like where
Yeah.
this is going.
And I
Well, there'll be
I
little
wanna try
black
them.
dots in the
That's
one
going
set
to be a
of
virtual
marshmallows.
pub pack for
Blindfold
sometime
me, I
late
don't care.
April. We're gonna get that. We're gonna make that happen for everybody. It actually
I
comes with
will
a
say this
marshmallow
about
and a
Smooth.
4-pack.
Here's something about s'mores beers, though. It's like s'mores beers are always chocolate and marshmallow, and I feel like the graham cracker or the lack of graham cracker attention to graham cracker is a missed opportunity. Like that's one of the 3 ingredients in s'mores, and I feel like it gets missed. I know that Dino S'mores throws some in there. They've got some, I think, in their beer, but in general, it's like where are the graham crackers? And in this one, I get some graham cracker in this one.
Graham flour is usually what they throw in there to try to get that aspect
That's all
of
I
it.
need.
And
Ryan said waffle
I
cone. I'll take waffle cone in a pinch.
I totally agree with Matt here. It's just like I'm always looking for balance. If you're going to see some s'mores, I don't want it to be like a marshmallow bomb. I don't want it to be lacking in any of those things. Like you say some more, like I want those 3, the trifecta, right? Chocolate, s'mores, and the graham cracker. And yeah, this shows up. Obviously, Dino S'mores is the local version that we kind of. If you've had it, it's awesome. It's been out for a while. It's one of our favorites.
Yeah, I think like Matt was saying, sometimes s'mores ignore the graham cracker. I think a lot of times they ignore the charred aspect. Like like s'mores are great because you get like that little bit of bitterness from the marshmallow. You get like that charred, like acrid note of bitterness, and I think this does a really, really great job of just kind of at the very end just gives you a little bit of just this weird, out of place bitterness that you kind of only get with the s'mores.
That's so
It
spot on.
emulates that flavor a lot.
I would say I'm quite sensitive to that because I don't like a smoked beer because of all that bitterness from the smokiness. But here it makes perfect sense, and it's so subtle, it's balanced, and I'm definitely digging this. I will say this is not the thickest stout, and I appreciate that. I know a lot of people don't like the thinner stout. I don't know if I'd call it right in between. I think it's a little on the thinner side, but I think that's good for all the flavors that you're trying to pick up. This is not just an imperial stout with nothing going on. The point of it is to get the flavor profile. It shouldn't be, the base beer should be a nice palette for everything to be featured on.
So we did speaking of blind tastings, we did a blind s'more stout show like 2.5 years ago, or it's been a little while. Because surprisingly, there's a ton of s'more stouts out there locally, even.
A lot.
Yeah, and we were totally surprised that. So we had a more henna s'mores, when they were doing that, didn't rank that high on the blind tasting. The ones that really stood out to us were the Pipeworks S'more Money, S'more Problems.
Oh, that beer is so good.
Was unbelievable.
That beer is so good.
That was our both of our number one, and then Dino S'mores actually did pretty well in that.
Yeah.
And that's a beer I've had real kind of up and down. Like on tap, I've had it; it's been perfect. But for a while out of the bottle, I had it. It wasn't what I remembered off the tap beer.
Yeah.
But I think they started to really dial that process in, at least on the package sense. So, there's just a ton of s'more beers out there.
Yeah, and I think kind of some beers like Big Hugs or maybe some coffee beers and stuff like that. Like year to year, I think they are still trying to tweak the levels and kind of find that perfect medium. So like year to year, you get Dinosaur, you gotta try it because sometimes it's a little, and obviously Dinosaurs will do some variants too, but sometimes it is a little more chocolatey, and sometimes it is a little more the sweetness and this and that. But this year I think, I guess it was in 2019 was the first time they was solid, and then they did coffee dinosaurs in cans, and that was the first time I was like head over heels for that beer. It's like I love the idea of it. I feel like it's never really for me like hitting all the flavor notes like the original did.
Yeah.
But, oh man, this year I think they used some coffee. Oh boy, that was a beer. It was a beer for sure.
Yeah, my previous coffee dinosaurs experiences were a little disappointing, and I did not have this year's canned one. So
You missed out. Hate to say it.
Yeah, I would
It was
agree. I
phenomenal.
feel like it changes a lot from year to year. I've had a couple years and been nonplussed, and then had a few times where I've been like, this is an improvement on the original. It's awesome. Yeah, it kind of depends. What other local s'mores beers were in there? Did you do Cahoots? Or did you do,
good question.
Or Patisserie s'mores
No.
from
Hang on, let me look this up with my computer.
Majesty, or that was too long ago, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cahoots, the barrel aged no s'mores from Cahoots was an early contender in the s'mores category. Big time.
Yeah, they were a brewery I knew nothing about, and they were at festivals pouring that beer, and it was really impressive even then. So, Coots is one of those breweries that is a mystery to me because they've been
straight. They have like 7 beers. I mean,
and they've been around for like 7 or 8 years too.
Sure.
Like, they've been around forever.
True.
And I mean, maybe it's just kind of a side job or something. Like I don't know what their deal is. I'm always.
Does anybody know if are they still bomber only? Does anybody know?
That's
That's
It's just a bunch of
Rick
blanks
Julian.
there.
If
Nobody knows, right?
Rick Julian, if you're still on,
I know, I've liked
still
their
on this
stuff.
chat, you're gonna have to give us the lowdown. Give us the Heartland insight on what Cahoots is still doing and what if it exists or what's going on.
Yeah.
So the other s'mores beers we did on that podcast. This is episode 217. We released it March 28th of 2018. So almost exactly 2 years ago. We had a Shorts Brewing s'more stout, along with the Piper's More Money, S'more Problems, the Moore's Henna Batch 3 s'more, Off Color Dino S'mores, and then Microphone S'more Cowbell was on there as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
which I mean that's one of the thickest beers I have ever had. I mean, it's insane how thick that beer is. I know that people had some problems with the cans, right? Some people had some bubbly issues.
Oh, this
But
2 years ago, it didn't fare super well in our blind tasting, but maybe it's
you know what?
changed.
I had the barrel aged version maybe about 6 months ago.
Oh, we haven't had that.
It was crazy. It was super delicious. The thickness was just out of control.
No, I mean,
like top 5 thickest beers I've ever had. Easy.
what Mike does with adjunct
Hashtag thick.
stouts is pretty incredible. Like I feel like Mike gets a lot of shit for being doing what he does. But he's not ashamed of it, experimenting with flavors and, really just throwing in crazy shit into the beer.
Yeah.
Like he's not shy about that, and he knows that. And he's really good at it. And I think that Microphone has almost gotten like a bad rap in terms of some of those crazier things that like they're doing such good beers. Some of them totally miss. I've had really bad beers from Microphone, but I've had probably more often than not really great ones. And I think he's an unfortunate kind of target when people are anti-adjuncts, AZs, and all that crazy stuff.
The other brewery that has been guilty of that, and I think if you look at the bigger picture for both Microphone and I'm thinking of Pipeworks, it's like overall you can if they're doing something new, which they always are, it's going to be fun. You're going to get something new on it. But Pipeworks has moved away from the bombers, but I think we all have a story with the Pipeworks bomber. We're just like, what?
Yes.
Like, first of all, what? Second of all, no. And Pipeworks has kind of reined it in over the last couple of years. And certainly, recently, like in the last year plus, when they set out to do something, I think they nailed it. It's like,
and they don't do bombers anymore.
I think that helps.
Yeah.
So it's like so when you open it, it's like, well, at least if it's not great, I'm the only person who has to finish it. You know, as opposed to
I
like
think we all
guys,
feel
let's
that
open this
with
up,
bombers.
you and a bunch of friends, and it's like, oh, this is embarrassing.
Same with microphone.
But-
Not even a bomber. It's a 750. It's even bigger, and like that was it. Like that's when their IPAs came in. Winter Weiss, stouts, like all of it. And
But both those
Crash
breweries have
or
like
crazy.
an adventurous, playful spirit, and they're
I love
asking
it.
you to sort of like go along with
Yeah.
them and like meet them halfway and
I
like
wouldn't ask
try
them to
some
do
stuff. And
anything
not
else.
everything's gonna work, but like they're not shy about that, as you said. Like they're upfront about that. Like we're just trying stuff because we're having fun over here. We hope
You
you'll
gotta-
come along with us on this journey, and
Yeah.
you know we'll see how it goes. And some stuff's gonna be amazing, some stuff won't be great, and
Yeah.
but it's gonna be fun.
they're not deaf to it. You know, like if they make something that like it's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
is,
but at the same
it's
time, you
not
can't
like
just-
they're like,
you-
let's rebrew this. You know, as soon as we can. You know, they're gonna be like, all right, like what went wrong? Like how can we dial this in? Like is this something? You know, like they're smart guys and they know how to make a good beer. They do it all the time, and I think pushing the envelope is important. If it's a miss, that's an important lesson for all of us to learn. You know, whether it's throwing the craziest adjunct you can think of in a beer, or whether it's just like doing too much and it just becomes muddled. You know, for me, like I do like some definition, like we call it s'more stout. I want to taste that.
I mean, we
if you
did
call it. It's got 8 adjuncts. I'd like to taste all of those.
We
you know,
did a
whether
collaboration
that's
with
possible
them.
or not.
We did a collaboration
what's
with
that,
them,
Ryan?
and I was saying we did a collaboration with them, and I walked in there
Yeah, with
just
microphone.
super impressed the way that Mike put together a recipe and said like, hey, Eric's like,
It's
hey,
awesome
let's do a brownie bar, like let's do a brownie bar, and Mike came up with a recipe, and without testing it or piloting it or anything, he just said, here's a recipe, let's try it and let's go, and it came out incredible. Like,
Yeah, can I say that I hated that idea and it tasted great?
There you go.
I was like, no, and then holy shit, it was delicious.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the suspension of flavor belief.
Yeah.
Good Mark. That
Next
works
class.
that works with microphone. Is it's like you got to just trust what he's doing because holy shit. He did a beer with Little Beaver recently that was a white chocolate IPA, and I fucking hate that idea. I hate it so much. But you know I want to try it.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because that's what he does.
Listen, have we all had the Stone chocolate Enjoy by?
No.
That was
Oh, the
years ago.
Valentine's one?
Yeah.
I don't remember if we had that because Craig has been obsessed with chocolate IPAs forever, and we had the
That's why I
Stone.
don't like it.
Yeah, I know he sucks.
There's enough
we
of us
had,
to be obsessed with it. No, that's the point.
he's obsessed with the idea of it
Graves.
becoming a thing.
Because
we
I'm
had
not sure
the-
I've ever had one. Have I had one before?
We had a Stone Mocha IPA. They did that in 6-packs for a little bit, and that was actually really good. Where was it?
Not had that.
Yeah, it was a more chocolatey, forward coffee IPA, whatever.
I'm always up for a coffee.
Because
But, like,
listen,
that's
hey,
interesting.
Java
Yeah.
Juice, Alarmist, Java Juice, shout
Really?
Yeah.
out. Oh
Well,
my god. Now listen, 2 things.
You
They
know,
canned it,
Street Ale is one of my jams.
Yeah.
they canned it,
Uh-huh.
and the cans were good, but
Yeah.
you do not feed it on draft. So when they do it on draft, they put the beans in the keg.
Oh,
Like the
God.
beans are steeped in the keg, and it is lights out. Now, it's not a flavor profile for everyone, but like coffee with the citrus and like Lejeune is like one of my favorites. That's another Citra Mosaic IPA.
Yeah.
Top notch, like unreal. Love Java
That's a
Juice.
coffee hazy, not
Oh,
unlike
yeah.
Second Breakfast.
Second Breakfast, another collab we did with Miskatonic and Dark Matter. Totally
Right,
true.
But I don't think I'm not sure I've ever had a chocolate IPA. And I've had a lot of beers. Like, now I want to try this.
Messed
Do
it
you-
a lot. Find
do
that
you?
on tap. You'll be surprised.
I do want to, absolutely. What's the Little Beaver microphone beer called? I'm going to look that up.
God, I don't remember. It's a pun on a song, I'm sure, but it's a white chocolate
Oh,
IPA.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
No shit.
Hey.
So speaking of, our collab with microphones, Eat to the Beat, which I think Matt
Blondie.
would love to elaborate. Yeah,
Blondie.
Well, Ryan was like, yeah, it's gonna be sort of like a blonde or a white. He's calling it a white stout. And I was like, no, man,
Yeah.
it's a blonde stout. If you're gonna name it after a Blondie record, like it's
Right.
a blonde brownie stout. But I think it turned out great. It's really
It's
terrific beer. It's got a huge
and-
body to
yeah.
it, and they're barrel aging it, so I can't wait to see what
Yeah.
Oh,
happens.
shit.
super
Okay.
good point. So was thinking you do. But yeah, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I threw some into there." So
Hope
next
you know
next year, this year anniversary in a couple months, get ready for that. So Pretty Fly.
That's
That's
what
the,
it is. Oh, for a white IPA. Get it? Get it, guys?
Oh,
So,
I,
as luck would have it,
Oh,
the name
great.
of my Wi-Fi that I'm on right now, which is giving me trouble, is called Pretty Fly for a Wi-Fi, and it's giving me problems all
worked your
night.
microphone.
It all comes back around like a good improv sketch.
It's scary.
Is there even, do you live in a building or are you in your own house? Because if not, you're wasting that joke.
He's in a
My own house, and it's
Yeah,
just
he's in
it's
it.
just
Damn
for
it.
me and the 2 people in my family. It's a
Exactly.
joke. People used to come over. Remember when people would come over? Not when we used to come over.
No.
Ryan's been over before.
What is people?
Yeah, exactly.
sure, I've seen that collection of movie posters in action, and he's not even showing you the best ones. The best ones are off to his left, or to
If you
our
s-
left.
If you invited me over, I'd steal that fucking Waiting for Guffman poster immediately.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, that's a good one.
Think about it.
That's a good one.
I feel like we didn't talk about this beer at all. I just said waffle cones, and then people said like smoky,
Yeah, waffle
smoky
cones.
chocolate.
We talked
About
about
to
what's wrong with
revisit it.
s'mores
It's
beers
at
in
the
general.
perfect temperature right now. It is.
This is why we need Ryan here to tell us. Like, did we talk about this beer enough? Can we successfully like say that we talked about this beer enough, or do we need to talk more?
Oh, we haven't talked about it. None of them. So
Yeah, we need
I was
to
going to
talk
say, like I said, it's not the thickest beer. It is 8%, and I think it's like spot on. For like we were talking about, Microphone has some like really hefty stouts, like big body, but they're also almost always like double digits, or like at least,
Right.
10 plus.
Oh,
And sometimes that's great, sometimes it's not. And I think 12-ounce can is clutch because this is a bigger beer. 60-ounce can, it's like, okay, you got to really like commit to it. Same with like the Revolution can. So 12-ounce can.
It's a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans, which is
It's a
This is-
4-pack now, but
Oh,
well maybe
we do a little
Yeah.
tweaking because 6-pack is much. But you can buy single cans out of us.
oh yeah.
But 8% is perfect. Like, I mean, I love. I have plenty of Revolution cans, but sometimes you need something that's single digit and enjoyable and not gonna miss. What are you eating? What is that?
I'm also wondering what you're eating. Are you eating all fudge?
Yellow fudge.
oh shit! I'm on camera. I forgot.
Yeah, the camera's on.
This is a s'more Girl Scout cookie.
Yeah, it
Oh
is.
shit!
Yeah.
This is not my
Why don't you
favorite
get one of
artwork.
your 3 for
Artwork of the
friends?
evening.
What?
It's clean.
It's not my favorite artwork of the evening. I feel like it's striking and stuff, but it's just it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't have the work of it.
Well, would you agree if they replaced these?
It looks like someone took a shit.
just a
Yeah,
a dookie
I was
just
gonna say, like,
right
if
in the,
that
in
was
the toilet.
a smoldering marshmallow, I'm in.
It's a
It's got kind of like an orphan black, sort of like some sort of modern crime, sort of.
Does she take a shit on that show?
No, but it's got like a procedural sort of intro, like a David Fincher
clean.
sort of. I don't know. It's
Clean,
very.
and then there's the big turd on.
I think that's a piece of chocolate falling into a beer.
Yeah, she takes a she
I don't know,
puts a
it
lot of
just- it looks
characters
like it's been color corrected.
into the dump.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
characters. They all take
and
dumps.
then takes a dump right there.
That's
I will
how
say-
yummy. That's how
Yeah,
yummy.
Another s'more beer, Stupid Sticky Fingers, Workforce.
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
If you guys like that beer, you should get a growler of it from Beer
I
on
was
the Wall
gonna
right
say,
now.
I'd
It's only
recommend
$48 for an
Andre, if
entire
you can't serve
growler.
it, please fill a growler. It's a smidge expensive.
I was gonna say,
But
what is a growler? What's a 60
So
bucks
worth
growler
it.
go for?
Holy
$48.
crap. No, we're only doing 32 ounces.
$1,200.
Almost
Really?
$50. But
We're only selling it by the 32 ounce, but someone asked for a 64, and we're like, yes, we'll make that happen.
yeah, I mean, we'll do it. We got to hit
We'll weigh the keg and
Let's-
sell you the rest. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest. We will
can
weigh
do
what's left in the keg. These different times.
Exactly $1,200. I don't know how you came up with that number, but that's what you came up
Oh,
with.
you're in? You got a kegerator? Didn't buy one. Okay. You're
Fuck, I can't
Technical
do that.
difficulties
sorry,
abound
gotta
here.
get there. Right. Did have cans of it. Workforce is making some crazy stouts. Maybe not anymore, because we're a little out of stout season, but Workforce is a fantastic brewery out of
Yes,
yes.
Plainfield.
And,
Plainfield.
you are correct, sir.
Indeed.
Ryan, what'd you say?
Sticky Fingers
Ryan's
is
quiet. What'd you
fantastic.
say?
Plainfield.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have it on draft. I wish we had canned still. It is top notch, like super top notch. Look that issue up.
I highly recommend pairing this Octopi S'mores beer with the Girl Scout S'mores
Shut
cookie
up.
if you can. Do it.
Let me go check. I might be able to.
Why don't you send me a box?
It's so good.
Sanitize it first.
I have one cookie left, literally. Craig took the rest of them.
That makes sense.
But have we considered how badly this coronavirus has impacted our Girl Scout cookie sales? Because that shit had to shut down. And it sucks. Sucks.
They better open up an online store. You gotta adapt these things.
Let them deliver to my door. I mean, that's weird, but like,
I feel like the Girl
I
Scouts
mean,
are being
I did it
tested
today.
in this regards. Like the Girl Scouts should be setting up internet shows or internet stores to like sell their Girl Scout cookies. To truly trust the entrepreneurship.
were you
of
dressed
their-
as a Girl Scout, Josh?
I mean, no.
Fair question. Fair question.
I don't know that.
Consider it.
Yeah, it's not in my size, but I got in there. So.
All right, end of
Here,
end of
give
the.
me
I have taglongs upstairs and I have Thin Mints. I don't have any of the s'mores.
You have tag-alongs.
Tag along.
Just come into work.
I'm sure those would taste terrible with this stout. Those wouldn't go at all.
Yeah, I just want them for like 20 minutes.
They taste good with life,
Yeah, life.
right?
Pairs with
That's a
life.
great pairing.
God.
Pairs with oxygen.
Can people in chat send off if they have a stash? What do
No,
you got?
Chris
What's your
Allman
favorites?
says he's got a line of Girl Scout cookies, and it looks like
And
we
then
have
go
some.
listen to ABV Chicago too.
Yeah, can I get a
Guilford-
hashtag Girl Scout cookies in the chat?
Can you?
I don't know how
Oh
that
yeah, here it
works.
comes.
I don't know. I mean, it'll
I
work.
accidentally watched a live gaming, like a person that was like playing a video game, and they were talking. I accidentally watched one of those on Facebook the other day.
It's called the stream. It's called the
Oh, that's
stream.
So
Listen, dads, I'm here for you.
I'm taking cues from that. So I'm gonna say things like, yo, hashtag ABV Chicago in the stream.
Yo.
Can I get a can I get a hashtag in the stream? And a lot of things are in
I'm
the
proud
stream.
of you guys.
Now listen,
Can I get a
before
that's rad?
before this whole
Yeah,
thing
that's
started,
right in the stream.
I talked to Josh and I was like, "Hey Josh, listen. Every time I open up a YouTube video, the opening line is, "Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Ryan here, Beer on the Wall." And I was like, well, "Do I have to do that for my live stream, or can I just like shotgun a beer before this whole thing starts? Like, is that acceptable? Is that a good way to
I think
intro?"
Yo,
two things.
yo, yo! Smash that subscribe button.
There you go. There you go. Smash.
But
it.
actually,
Very,
do please
very
hit that subscribe button so we can get more followers and I can use better cameras besides my webcam.
Smash it.
Yeah.
Smash it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube does not
Smashing
allow
thing.
us to
You gotta be
use
right,
nice cameras
right.
until
You
you hit
gotta be
1,000
louder.
followers.
And you got a shotgun on stream. That's the only way to do it.
Yes. Go
It's
get
a
a beer.
trifecta. That's a trifecta. Three
This
things.
is all I ask of you is
Period.
to smash that subscribe button so we can use better cameras. Exactly. We got
Easy. It's easy street, really.
we got some people on a house party. People are doing a house party. The Guilfords, the Indriolos, and the Gainers, and the Bowels, and the Gainers are all doing a party.
Sanitizer, we can be there.
So irresponsible, y'all.
Wait,
You
somebody
guys
said,
just drink your Red
"Oh
Bull.
shit, guys!" Somebody said you
Like
turn the
cats.
can upside down and it's a jellyfish. I'll do it for you.
Well, listen.
It's-
My
it's
final
not
thoughts
a-
on this beer. Oh, good. Oh, look at that.
No, that's a turd. Come on.
That's an upward turn.
That looks like a
Never
peak,
had
like
It's
a
just
peak.
like it's like a I don't know. It's like
Pokemon
a
that I
coffee
know.
creamer. I don't know. It's just like it's too. I don't know. It's awfully
No, that's what I'm saying. They did some cool like what's it like food coloring in water. They just color corrected it to be something brown, which is lame. That needs to be a marshmallow water turn.
We are 2
Water
hours and
turd.
3 minutes into the video, so let's
I
do
think the beer tastes better.
let's do one last pour. Everyone kind of pour your favorite beer from the night into your glass, and let's do a little talk about why that was your favorite.
to go upstairs.
not going to start with Matt. We're going to go with somebody else.
Wow. Lucky guy, he's got an upstairs.
Chris Allman just spilled beer in his computer.
It's here. That's it. Sorry about my window.
All right, I'll go first. I'm taking
No,
my
I keep
glass.
waiting for somebody to appear that is going to murder you in that window.
No, there's nothing here.
I'm back.
Fun fact, there's a litter box behind me. Other than that,
See, I told you we'd make a cat comment.
I didn't want to know that.
Oh, you know what? If you freeze frame it, there is kind of a little. There's a little face over Josh's left shoulder. There's like a creepy. Look at that. There's like a creepy Ringu sort. No, go the other way.
Bloody
Nope.
Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Look at that. Look, there's like a face. There's sort of like an opera mask face in the upper. Yeah, right there where he's waving. Look at that. It's creepy, actually.
got some trees outside. Off the third floor, got a nice old tree right there.
You are gonna get murdered.
I mean, it's mostly squirrels. You gotta watch
This
out.
is Chris Altman is requesting a cuvee, so
Oh, cuvee?
Of
Oh,
course he is.
no. I accidentally drank all the s'mores, so I can't do a cuvee. I'm sorry.
I went back to the Damon.
Chris
Same.
Allman, cheers, brother.
Hang on. I'm gonna cuvee. This is terrible. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Here we go.
Nice.
That's
I
not
mean, here's
terrible.
the thing. With the stout, it's gonna go through. All right, I did cuvee. Look at that's beautiful.
ABC, always be
That's
cuvee.
looking like the turd on
Always
the
be
can.
Kuvang. Third place, you're fired.
Third place, you're out of the chat. Second place, set of steak knives.
That
Wait,
is
wait,
a
wait, wait,
citrusy
wait.
hat. That is a
Ryan has mini
boozy,
eggs.
citrusy.
Everybody's getting muted. Ryan has mini eggs.
Yes. I'm here for the party.
Wow. Yeah.
You're a liar. Real. Well, hey, before
I thought you were
know
gonna put
we're
that.
getting
I thought you were gonna
close.
put that in a beer. I got excited. For a
I'm
minute.
feeling like we're getting close.
We're at the 2-hour mark.
I need everyone to sound off, whether it's in the comments or commenting on the event or just blow us up. If you like this, we want to do this every week on a Monday. Let us know if you're in. If you're not, we'll shut up.
Wait, there's other people watching this?
Who?
Facebook, we have 30 people still watching us.
I thought we were just hanging out, guys.
Nope.
Oh,
This is a real thing.
Wait, this
YouTube,
No end in sight.
what's the internet?
YouTube is like.
Listen, these dances. Gosh.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I'm for the record. I am into this.
This cuvee is good.
This cuvee is pretty good.
This cuvee
It's
is-
a
What's that chocolate IPA I've been looking for?
No, it's a
ABV,
waffle
always be
cone.
blending.
It's a waffle cone with bubblegum ice cream.
Yes.
And
It's quite nice, actually.
turns out I'm
always
into
be
that.
blending. You never know what's going to happen.
You know, like ABC always be
It's
Kuvang.
pretty good. It doesn't look nice.
Hmm.
It's like a porter.
No, this color is
It's like a-
terrible. This is the SRM
It just
scale.
speaks to how much you left of each beer.
The s'mores beer is
That
empty.
you have such different looking cuvées.
I have nothing left in the s'mores beer.
I hate it, guys. I hate it.
You have no palate.
You hate the
S'mores beer,
cuvee?
that was another one where as soon as you
That's
opened
not-
it,
that's
it's
not
like,
dark
I
enough
could
to be a
smell it from
cuvee.
foot away.
Oh, you ran out of the s'mores.
Yes. I'm just drinking this Damon. It's fucking great, man.
Yeah, David.
Like, why ruin that beer? It's so
This-
good.
The Damon is my favorite beer of the night, for sure.
Same.
Damon is a quality beer. And this, listen, when we love on a beer, that doesn't mean all the other ones are bad. It just means that, listen, we all have a favorite. And tonight it's Damon. I think we can say all the other ones are also quality beers.
Yes.
You're going to get your value there.
I'm not going to
Damon
give you a
excels
bad beer,
right now.
everybody. I don't put a bad beer in the store, except some.
Liar. We try our best.
Sometimes people just demand things. They need things.
Listen, and you can't taste every beer before it comes in. I mean, you trust
Yes,
brewers.
listen,
No, sometimes I know the
brewery
brewery is terrible, but people
on your
really want it. So I just,
You bought the URL. We have great beer, so I get it. But like, it's not always was great, Ryan. You gotta
No,
let it
it's-
go, man.
It's true. Like some of the things I know that are on the shelf, I'm like, you keep buying that, but I don't love that beer. But it's not about me. It's not about me. Not everyone loves Mosaic hops except me, and that's fine.
And I don't like Galaxy hops, so
That's wrong.
yeah, you can yell at me.
Do you ever nod your head and say no, or you're like, should I buy this beer? And like,
We don't ask them that anymore. Too busy. It's great.
I'm in an office. I don't. This is the
You
most
got
I've been
the
in.
office.
I've
You got big heads.
I really like.
shit. I see how it is.
I've enjoyed actually this whole thing. I've actually been able to be on the floor selling beer, talking to people about beer,
With the people.
with the people, amongst the people. It's been fun.
Going old school, to say the least.
Always
Pressing the
be
flash.
cuveying out of my own draft lines. That's the wrong thing. Cuveying out of my own
Cuvées.
draft lines.
Giving just real quality hugs.
Nope,
Shut up.
not doing that.
Long hugs.
That's not funny anymore.
Oh, Nick Riley wants a Kronbacher palate cleanser. Turns out I'm
Oh.
into that.
Good call.
I'll go for a Kronbacher right now.
But
Ryan
which
knows
Nick? You
anything.
talking about Nick who works with us?
No, Nick Riley. That's a lot of questions. Good questions tonight.
If Ryan knows anything, he knows about tactical lagers, which are maybe the most important things in your life.
They are the most important things.
I hate hearing him say the word, but I can't deny the effect. It's super important.
What is getting you through this coronavirus scare thing,
need a
epidemic,
lager.
whatever you want to call it?
You need to chill out on 9% double IPAs and 30% or stouts.
You can drink a
high
Velton's
ABV germ
4-pack.
killers.
For
Listen,
$8.
Here's the thing. I'm being a
$8.
realist. We're all day drinking, all right? And you need a
It's
lager.
got any money. It's true.
You need a lager. They're cheap, they're effective, and you can do it. Trust. Hey, trust.
Here's my strategy.
I'm listening.
So
I'm in.
I
into
went
this.
to the Beer on the Wall website, and
Which
I
one?
ordered. WeHaveGreatBeer.com,
Thank you.
and I ordered curbside delivery. And here's what I got. I got a Hot Butchered 4-pack of Mirror Ball. I got a six pack of Spiteful IPAs. I got
Best choice.
a 4-pack of Off Color Beer for Beer for Tacos, right?
That's sold out, just so you know. Sorry about that.
Can I
Sold out,
can't
though.
keep it on the shelf? Can't
Very
keep it on
Such a
the
good
shelf.
beer.
Such a good beer.
It fucking rolls. I also got a Sketchbook Buds Corvus.
Oh yeah, for your Irish
dry stout.
I was feeling some Irish dry stout, and I got 2 Afterthought beers. So I am good for
2
2
days.
2 more
2
days.
Oh, 2 weeks. Sorry.
Well, I also have 46 High Lifes in my fridge, and
Wait, where's the High Life vertical?
just a bunch of other shit. Yeah, well, there's one here, and there's one here, and there's one somewhere over there. So I got 3 years of High Life. Yeah, but
I thought you
Do
were
cur-
cool.
I got
do curbside delivery. That's how you get through this thing.
I got
Curbside
dibs on that High
or
Life
delivery?
vertical show. I want in.
Yes.
This boy's a lager fiend. He won't stop.
Which boy?
He won't. I don't know. See,
Yeah,
Ryan Tracy.
We're all in different quadrants here, so don't.
I don't understand how it decides who gets what quadrant. Like why? Like I'm in the upper right of my
No,
screen.
I'm in the upper right.
Is everyone in the upper right
No,
of their own
I'm
screen?
in the upper right too.
When I look at Josh, there's a bunch of hearts floating around him. Is that happening to anybody else?
It happens to everyone, actually, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
just-
Oh, that's just in my brain.
Josh, are you doing a COVID beard right now?
Who? Josh?
People are asking. Jason Monk is asking.
Is that your COVID beer?
Hey, your COVID beard.
I mean,
Come on.
Your
this,
beard. Your
this-
COVID beard.
this
Oh, beard.
blend is
Oh,
not.
beard.
Beard.
Oh,
Oh,
beard.
beard.
Yeah, I took it down. If anyone remembers, not that I mean I don't like making it about myself, but I was getting ready for a mustache, and I was like, I just need it cleaner, like much lower than no dirty stash. So, you have to wait. No porn stash this time.
Chris Allman
Sorry.
says beard.
Yeah. Actually, Ryan, from the podcast, you remember me showing up to a certain holiday party with a mustache.
It was horrible.
Yeah, you loved it. That's what I have to say.
It was terrifying.
It's coming. Listen, it's coming back. You have no choice. I can grow it, so it's happening.
Do it. Do it.
Listen. After this fiasco,
I was gonna look like Joe Exotic for this fucking thing anyway, so it doesn't matter.
God. Next time, listen. You have 1
Next
week
time.
to prepare. 1 week.
No, in 1 week, nobody's gonna care about Joe Exotic anymore. So get your Tiger King references out now.
Let's all
Why?
wear tiger print.
1 week from now, it's over. When no one's gonna care.
It's done.
Internet
It's done.
moves fast.
It'll be all about Trolls World
Real
Tour.
That movie's gonna rule. You
All
kidding?
people are talking about. They're gonna move from Tiger King over to Trolls.
Someone help me. These stats are
Can't
crazy.
wait. So excited.
You can't wait, or you can't wait until your kids are latched onto something for the next 12 hours of just things going on in your house.
Oh, my kids are gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it first. Come on.
Make sure
It's
it's
Check for content. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. You never know.
You and me and the
JT
Peppa
might
Pig.
drop an F-bomb.
We could just watch. Brian and I could just watch Peppa Pig all day.
It's true.
It's
Love that shit.
I love it. Love that
my,
show.
my kids are on Ben and Holly's Magic Kingdom as well. So if you want to get into that Peppa Pig universe,
Wait, I'm sorry.
get into that show
What was
too.
that? On
Ben
to
and-
what?
Ben and Holly's Magic Kingdom. It is from the creators of Peppa Pig. It's great.
I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar. I know
It's,
Peppa Pig.
it's
I don't know what
amazing.
that is.
Same voices. It's great. It's awesome. Look it up. Read a book.
learn a book.
Sounds like I'm at work.
It's like you're back working with Eric
Okay.
again.
Jesus. Oh, there's a cat here. I have allergies, Josh. What are you thinking?
I mean, me too.
Dare you?
Listen, today was the cat's meow. That's all I got. I think Off Color would appreciate that.
That's true.
They're speaking of, I just got a new email from them. They got some hot stuff coming out. Keep an eye out.
Like
That's it?
what?
That's all you're gonna say?
Yeah, no spoilers. No. This is Frank, by the way. He's
What's up, Frank?
he likes the camera.
Hey, Frank. Frank.
Oh yeah, he can hear you.
Frank. Oh, there he is.
Oh
shit, I'm sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
That's a death stare right there.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that.
Shit. Get that. Sorry, Frank.
Get out of here.
Ryan, do you have any pets?
It's about the beer.
I'm,
I
I'm,
have-
Ryan, yeah.
Mine's out at home, but
I have two
Oh, no.
cats
Other
and a dog.
oh,
This guy? Wait, he's over here from
Oh, you. I meant you. I know what Ryan's pet
Oh,
situation is. It's not yours, yeah.
Yeah, I have two cats and a dog, and they're
there
all
you go.
old. Yeah. I got
Look at
a Labrador pit bull mix. She's like 12. She's great. She's the best. Her name's Jolene. And I have
Good name.
a cat named Spaz, and I have a cat named Rick. And Rick's a girl. She's great. So
Spaz?
Oh, I love
Spaz?
those stories.
Spaz and Rick, yes.
Spaz
Okay.
and Rick.
Nice.
Yes, that's
it's funny.
the
We
two.
actually have an employee who's named Rick and is also a spaz.
Oh.
There you go.
Rick.
Perfect combo.
Take that, Rick.
Gotcha, bud. Maybe we'll get Rick in here. Or maybe
What,
not.
to defend himself on the
Just
live video feed?
just
I
so
don't think
people
that
know.
makes sense.
in case people don't know.
Got some love from Illuminated, who says they can't do delivery during these times, but they appreciate us getting their cans out to people in the market. So,
Oh, yeah.
oh, Rick's back, everybody.
Oh, shit. Scatter.
He's awake. We for
For
Illuminated,
sure.
we do have Trust, and we do have Fruit Slave right over here. So stop
Not for
in,
long,
grab it
though.
on your online form, grab it in your delivery forms. We'll happy to get it out to you. Fruit Slave is one of the best New England IPAs in Chicago.
Yeah.
Definitely not on your radar, but definitely you should grab it if you like the
I haven't
Hufflepuff.
had it yet.
What?
Idiot.
Yeah, I've never had it either.
And first, and I don't know if it's worth Ryan going over to grabbing a can, but the
I'll get a
artwork
can.
is
I have time.
It's like fruit
Let's
striped
just-
gum, right?
yeah. There's a little
Yeah, the cans are awesome.
they've had some.
I've never had though.
They're very clever, but they've had some problems. Many people know Brony. Highlighter pink can. Beyond highlighter pink is amazing. that won't be Brony in the future. They had a legal issue, but Fruit Slave, so far so
Yeah,
good. Might remind you of some gum.
Is Fruit Stripe even a gum anymore? Even is
Doesn't
that even a
matter.
company?
It is because they sued. They sent a cease and desist letter to Illuminated.
That was Brony.
It
No,
is.
that's what Josh is saying. Is it's the My Little Ponies.
They've under the radar for Fruit Slave as far as
I was
know.
gonna
But,
say, yeah.
their cans are always worth it, man. And
Yeah, they're awesome.
worth noting too, most of their IPAs have a nice little paragraph on there, tell you exactly what's in there, tell you the hops, and that's why I like Fruit Slave. Got
Yeah,
some
that's cool.
got some lesser known ones that are still really tasty, and just kind of shaking it up. Brian, what's in there?
Where? Fruit Slave?
Yeah. Get your glass of little man.
Motueka, Citra, and Mandarina Bavaria.
Such a good combo. Tell me another beer that's got those three. You won't.
Gonna be tough.
Mandarina Bavaria is the tough one. Motueka and Citra, I feel like Microphone just put out one with Motueka.
Microphone maybe transient too. Yeah.
Is that a cat?
I think that was Ryan.
Oh no, this noise.
Wait, he's changed headbands. They did not approve of this.
What?
Oh, hey.
You can't do that.
It was too waterlogged. I had to change it. It was getting very sweaty in here.
Oh my god.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do.
The ABV bunker is real sweaty. It's real sweaty down there.
It's real hot all the time.
I had to change
All the
pants.
time?
I changed pants.
All the time.
It gets real close to the mic all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
There you go. I don't know. I just finished the last of my mirror ball, which was pretty close to room temp and delightful. Loved it. No problems.
Is Ryan just throwing cans in the ground now?
No, that was me. I just set one down.
Yeah.
Josh, are you opening tomorrow?
No,
Then I throw shit all over the place.
that's right. Being
I
at
finished
3,
this cuvee. This cuvee is
I
great.
will serve anyone after that. And probably do some deliveries. But it's Tuesday. Hey, listen, Tuesday, slow day. Probably nothing new. Sorry about that. Wednesday, Thursday, buckle up. Just buckle up.
We got more Bell's Amber in stock, which is currently sold out.
Yeah.
Hottest
Got some
beer
bells.
during COVID.
I love Flagship February so much, guys.
Hey, speaking
What
of
about
Oberon,
How's Oberon doing?
I was going to say Oberon is fresh as hell.
Oberon's so
And
good when it's fresh, man.
I think ABV Ryan can talk about that because that was a good show you guys did about that.
What was that? The Flagship one?
No, I mean, this was a while ago.
Oh.
I'm dating myself on episodes, but you guys talked about going to like fresh Oberon.
So even pre-podcast, I think my wife and I, back before we were married, we went to Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids as like a little weekend jaunt, and we happened to be in Kalamazoo the weekend of Oberon release. We had no idea that that's what was happening, and we kind of lucked out. So we had the first pours of Oberon of the entire season. It was this whole big deal, and all the waitresses brought them out like at the same time, and we all toasted and drank at the same time, and that was cool as hell. And that's still a great beer. I love Oberon. That's a damn good beer.
In college, we used to go to a cabin on the lake in Lake Michigan, and for Memorial Day weekend, we used to go to the same cabin every year. We would always get a keg of Oberon, take it there, and it was always
Oh,
like
man.
as soon as that, like once upon a time, beers didn't look like Oberon. You know what I mean? In a glass, like that was it's just like sunshine.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was so awesome. So I always associate the arrival of summer, or the late spring, soon to be arrival of summer with Oberon. Yeah, it's awesome.
Matt's a K College grad, so lived 4 years in Kalamazoo.
Whoa, the zoo.
God,
The zoo.
Oh,
how many
man.
eccentric ales did you have?
Well, I didn't have a fake ID, and I'm younger than a lot of my fellow
Idiot.
students, so I couldn't drink till halfway through senior year, so I didn't have a lot of them.
If you notice the shirt I'm wearing here, it is Dirty John's Grocery in Iowa City, Iowa.
Yeah.
As a Hawkeye, from the age of 19 on, I was able to buy international beer at Dirty John's Grocery because they did not check IDs because they didn't give a shit and they lived in a college town and they knew what the fuck they were doing.
Well done.
Could make money off of it. But this grocery store was instrumental to my understanding of beer as it was because I'm talking about 2001. We would go there and buy Belgian or international beers that were just weird and interesting. And we started with Sammy Smith's and we just kept extending beyond that to Chimay and whatever the hell was there.
Good for
It just
Dirty
looked cool.
John's.
Yeah, Dirty John's always had that. And they
What a weird name.
didn't card us either. I mean, so the name is very appropriate. So there you go.
I like that we can see John in inverted color.
Yeah,
It's great. Yeah, he looks like a photographic negative version of Harry Carey.
I was
It's
going to say, yeah, spot on. Literally spot on.
I never met the titular John, but I did drink a lot of whatever beers he was selling to me illegally. So thanks, John.
What a guy. Where would you be without him?
No idea. In
No
a good-
idea. No one knows.
No.
You'd be drinking PBR and listen.
Yeah, I'd be drinking hard seltzer for all we know.
I'm not trying to shut up PBR because I love PBR, but
Stop it. Stop it.
I like it.
I like it too. I like it
I
too.
like the PBR.
A lot of fond memories. Memories
Yeah.
come rushing back.
Ryan, you
Goddamn
want,
PBR hard
to mute?
coffee.
you wanna mute these
Holy
guys?
cow.
That's a piece of shit. Stop it.
I'll
No,
mute them.
Love it.
I'll mute them. We can
PBR
talk about
coffee.
High Life.
No.
I will get one from the fridge right now.
I have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Are we going to
I will
shotgun
go to the
PBR
fridge
hard
right now.
coffee right now?
All right, fine. All right,
Go
fine. It's a
ahead.
cheap lager
Go
off.
ahead.
I love PBR coffee.
Do it without me.
This is so good. I want to, but no. I want coffee right now.
I have rarely hated
Look at everyone else.
any drink as
I
much
should
as
probably
that.
leave you by yourself and go again.
All right, I will give a PSA for why PBR hard coffee is the fucking worst. Hello, folks. I am here by myself to tell you that PBR hard coffee is a goddamn atrocious nightmare of sugar and syrupy sweetness, and it sucks. Oh, hello.
Hello, sweet prince. Oh, PBR coffee? That what's
Bonus.
happening?
Are we
Bonus
showing?
fifth beer.
Are we showing our highlights, or what are we doing here?
That's right.
Come on now. I can't believe you're getting a PBR hard coffee.
Always
is
be
that?
branding.
Come on, you have that? Why don't I have that?
What, the keychain?
Yeah.
I'll get you a keychain. That's no problem. Those are free. Jason Monk's wondering if flagships are dead.
Whoa.
Are flagships dead? In the time of COVID, absolutely not. We are selling more flagships than we ever have, ever. Right now we have.
Yeah, I was
Ninja
going to say,
Unicorn
generally
and-
speaking, people are kind of turning to things that comfort them, right? Things that
Yeah, the creature
they
comforts
know.
of the world.
people are less likely to take a chance, and they want stuff that they know is going to be awesome, right?
I just have a bunch of High Life in my fridge, and
I'm not opening this because I just opened the beer.
I can't do anything about it.
Drink this now because it's open. See you guys at 6 a.m.
Did you open that? Oh no.
I opened it.
That sucks.
Ryan, have you had that before?
I hate it. We had
I
it-
also it was way
Yeah,
too
we had
sweet.
it on a low ABV, which is a Patreon only podcast that we do for our Patreon patrons, and Craig loved it. I thought it was sweet sugar trash, and it sucks.
But you have to approach it not like a beer, but more like
Yeah, I get that. Like it's poison,
a malt liquor frappuccino.
like sweet poison. Yeah, I get it. For poison, it's decent. I hate it. I hate that so much.
I try to like it just for the sake of like, hey, let's shotgun some PBR coffees, but it was too sweet.
No, it sucks. It's sugar trash.
Wait, it was too what?
It was too sweet. I don't know if
So
my wife
good.
is still on the chat, but if my wife is
Oh,
still on the
God.
chat, it tastes like her coffee. I'm sorry, wife. It tastes like your coffee.
Hey, now. That's what's up.
Josh, what are you
Tracy.
drinking? You find the PBR coffee as well?
I mean, I have it. I don't know if I should save it for the morning or drink it now. Hard to-
Yeah. First thing in the morning. That's
Or
what
there was
it's
a morning
for.
beer.
Listen, my good friend who lives up in Wisconsin, who introduced me to Untitled Art and all that good stuff, he lived in Madison for a bit. Now he lives in a little town called New Glarus.
Never
He
heard.
sent me a video of someone, they put that in a blender with ice and call it bourbon, call it whatever, pick your favorite hard liquor, and then they blended it up, made a little morning.
Like an Olive Garden
Frappuccino?
mudslide, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was
And I
awesome.
was like, dude, you have no idea. I am so in. Like, I am all about this. I will
And they
figure out-
immediately got fired from their job, right?
No, this was at home. Everyone's at
Oh,
home.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
this is
Okay.
quarantine boredom at its finest. And I was all about it.
We have a question from the panel asking, how do you feel about the beer gut?
How do you fill it up?
How do you feel about it?
About the what?
I mean, everyone's getting COVID-15, and it is not pretty.
Is COVID
Wait, how do we
15
feel
the,
about
the equivalent of like a freshman 15? It's like 15
Yeah,
pounds you gained during COVID.
But quarantine 15, yeah. And I think we all know it. And
I've
you either
actually
embrace
I
it
have
or
I have lost 4 pounds since this whole quarantine thing.
idiot. Why?
No, that's stress. You're not doing it right.
I am wearing a headband right now, not because I want to advertise beer on the wall, but because I want to hide my stress-eating acne that I've
But you
developed.
really want.
No, it's just because I have pimples on my head because I eat so much shit trash, because I'm so anxious and stressed out, because I think I'm going to die of a virus, and it sucks. And
Okay.
so I just keep shoving beer and food into my face all the time.
All right, not to interrupt, but what I was talking about, the little Frappuccino thing, was posted by Paps on their Instagram. So that is a post you can go find, and it is. You're not gonna be able to see that. All right. Well, it is frozen Irish coffee, so it's probably Irish whiskey, and they make homemade whipped
Fuck
cream.
you, Paps!
There you go. Well done. But go on Pap's Instagram and check that out if you want a mouth-watering breakfast treat.
Yeah. No, if you want your COVID-15, there you go. Just drink fucking PBR hard coffee.
Listen, I'm not playing anymore.
Oh!
Ah. I can't watch.
I don't have a clean glass, but I'm gonna. You probably don't want to see
No,
it.
they can't. It's not meant for a glass.
Tell me when it's over, guys. I can't look.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm sorry, Ryan. It's continuing. I'll block his
It's
video
so
if
good.
you want me
Listen,
to.
we got cold
I'll do
ones in
it.
the fridge, lots of 4-packs.
There is more creamy sweetness than any other beer we had tonight. I hate it.
This is hardly beer because
In part because there's milk and sugar.
Mostly because it's barely beer.
This is our side note for this episode, and it is the best.
We are 2.5 hours in, by the way, and I'm sure people are still tuned all the way in.
I mean, what else? I mean,
We're
it's only
11.
Tuesday tomorrow. Tuesday's the lamest day of the week. What are you gonna do? Work?
It's true. Yeah, what shows up at Beer on the Wall on a Tuesday? Like maybe Saint around once in a while.
No, they're always on Monday. They're on Monday. Now, listen.
How often do they show up?
Once a month.
Whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, St.
man.
Around is the few and far between, but goddamn quality.
You get a phone call from Chicago Beverage on a Monday or a Tuesday. Want to know if we want to buy more Corona.
They don't answer
Once
the
a
phone.
month. Once a month.
Oh,
You guys want a little Modelo?
Yeah, essentially.
I'll take some Modelo right now.
Listen,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We can make that happen for you.
You guys see what I'm saying about a Willy Wonka
So
bubblegum
good.
garden, though?
Oh, for sure.
It's
No,
open.
I'm putting that in my tasting notes when I get done with my tap ratings.
It's like
Can
a
you
floral.
check
It's like
this
a
in for
floral
me?
bubblegum.
Five.
What's that?
5 stars.
Shut up.
I'm not gonna go 5, but I am gonna go 4.75.
Listen, I rate based on style, and based on style, this is a 5.
All right, so Ryan and I are going to do the
But
do
what
the
is the
videos going
style?
forward, and
Yes.
then we're going to kick off Matt and Josh, and that'll be great.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm about ready for that. Yeah, I deserve that for sure.
Yeah, y'all are supposed to be selling the idea that you can recommend beer to other people, and you're telling me that shit is good. So I'm saying,
I'm not going to tell you what you like. You like what you like.
I did not recommend this beer.
It's categorized
This is
as
not beer.
a malt beer, according to Taft.
no.
Wait. What's on the can? Malt beverage. Not malt beer. It's a malt beverage.
Can someone just put on the beverage like, it'll get you drunk?
I'm
Use it
full
up.
of hate.
Listen, it's, what is it, 6%? It's somewhere around here.
But I like the way the booze
5%.
balances
Oh
out.
my
the,
gosh. Vito's been
No,
here the
so-
whole time, and he just chugged a PBR coffee.
Mine's not gone. Mine's still.
Don't do it.
About
But
halfway.
Vito already
It's
did it.
so good. It goes down way too easy.
Vito's on the chat, and Vito said that he chugged PBR coffee.
Vito. See,
Vito.
Vito knows what's up. If anyone
Thank
knows
you,
what's
Vito.
up, Vito knows what's up. If you don't know Vito, just stay away. He's trouble. But if you do know him, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
I'll take Josh's word on that. Vito, you get the exception for PBR hard coffee. Everybody else, no, you don't.
We dream of one day where we find a brewery that'll actually brew a beer for us called Vito's Backpack. Vito is renowned for just walking in the store with a backpack full of treats and goodies and just
Let me tell you a story.
pours them in a glass.
Hailstorm should brew the Vito's back.
Let me grab my
That's
PBR
true.
hard coffee and tell you a story.
I don't want to hear it.
Josh, can
yeah.
you
So
can't
let's
talk
just
until
tell
you
you a
actually
story.
have a virtual
Gather
background that
around the hearth.
has a fire in
Vito
it.
showed up one day, and you never know what's in the backpack. It's a mystery. It could be terrible. It could be garbage. Or it could be amazing. So he showed up one day, and he pulled out a Cocoa Van Batch 1 from Hubbard's Cave. And we were like, uh-oh, coconut and vanilla? And it's like over 2 years old. Like, this could be a nightmare. Phenomenal. It was amazing. And it made me want to buy it immediately. Beer held up. Hubbard's Cave makes great stouts. A little on the sweeter end, but holy crap, that aged well. Surprisingly well. Then he pulled out a Black Note that was at least 5 years old. Maybe you can sound off what year it was. It was at least 5 years old, if not like 7, 8 years old. And we were like, here's another one. Like, could be garbage. Like, who knows?
Once upon a time, Black Note was a bit of a whale.
I mean, Black Note.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe even still, but like, I mean, it held up. Like, bottom line, I think of Black Note. I think of that time when he brought Black Note out of his backpack, and I was like, maybe I should sit on this for like a couple of years. And in case anyone doesn't know, Black Note from Bell's Barrel Aged Stout, crazy good, and it holds up over time. So, thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Vito.
Thanks, Vito.
I've never had a. I've never
Can we get
had
a hash-
that.
Sponsored
Can we get
by
a
Batch
hashtag?
Beer.
Can we get a hashtag Vito in the chat?
Hashtag Vito in the chat.
The Vito beers, they vary in quality, but I've never had a bad one. I've had some that are average, but
Listen,
usually good, if not
It's not
great.
his fault. He does a good job.
Vito or Larry Bell? Who are you talking about?
Yes.
Cool.
Fantastic.
My table's a mess.
Good.
You call that your table? That's a table for 8 people.
It's a table for 0 currently. There's one bar stool at it. It's for me.
True.
When I socially
seating
distance myself
in our
from
store.
whoever's
It's very
working
odd.
over on that side of the store.
We haven't seen it. It's sort of
You were less than 10 feet from a Nintendo, so you just blow this whole thing off and just be playing fucking Mario for
That
a while.
Nintendo
It's
has
not
been
there.
asleep now for
Right
2 weeks.
Oh shit!
yeah.
Coronavirus?
Yeah, it got it. Got to quarantine it.
But also, we all know
If you played Duck
Teenage
Hunt,
Mutant Ninja Turtles is the best game on this.
if you played Rygar on our Nintendo,
Whoa, better than Tecmo Bowl and Rygar? Come on.
I'm not backing down.
Ryan's going in for that last cookie. That's it.
I'll buy PBR hard coffee, and I ain't backing down.
Did you finish it already?
No, but oh wait. Yes.
Oh man, raffle prizes.
Oh, you guys need some of this?
Sword open so sensual.
Yeah, let me send you my address.
Where
like a
where did that
burlesque
come
show.
from? Where just in the middle of your basement?
Taunting us, that's not fair.
I'm surrounded by it. What am I supposed to do?
That sounds nice. I want to be surrounded by toilet paper. Is that ultra soft or ultra strong?
It's Kirkland brand, so it sucks.
Hey, sound off if you can relate.
I went for the Charmin Ultra Strong or Ultra Soft. Really, I don't give a shit when it comes to Ultra whatever. I'm fine
It's all
either way. But I got stuck with this Kirkland. I'm going to tell you, inferior product.
Well, but are you complaining?
Take what you can get, because this is what I have.
Probably
For
saved
a
a
while.
little dough too.
It does.
What's that, Matt?
What?
You probably saved a little dough buying the Kirkland.
You're damn right.
What are you, a
What
damn
you're
kids or
doing,
something?
you.
Come on now.
You know.
Hey, we do what we can do. these
Ryan,
days. I
did
don't know.
you
Proud of
do
you
you
all.
feel like your experience waiting in line for beer translated to your waiting in line for toilet paper?
I don't wait in line for beer, Ryan. I'm sorry.
That's
Like,
not
no,
what
I'm sorry,
I've heard.
Craig does that. Sorry.
You're waiting in line for toilet paper. Are you allowed to open up other toilet paper?
If you pay, I think it's
And
fine.
share them. Share
Oh,
them.
guys, have you tried the 18 Charmin? It is so fluffy. Just put it in your face. Oh.
This leaves nothing behind. I love it.
Next week
There's-
on Virtual Pub Night, toilet
it's really-
paper talk.
It's really well attenuated because there's nothing on the end. I love it.
Ryan, here telling you with well attenuated means that all the yeast has eaten up all the sugars. There's nothing left. It's very dry.
Right. Well, all the
What a
Except,
oh
nerd.
God, you're exactly right. That's what I want out of my toilet paper. Is it gonna eat up all of the? No, I'm done.
Poops. All the poops.
You
You can say
shit.
poops.
Oh, wait. Oh,
Don't worry, I marked this video as not for children, so it's okay.
I saw that. Well done.
And then, in which case, like the bidet is like the hard seltzer of toilet papers.
Yeah, it's cleansing.
Where it's like, oh, I got a bidet. I just skipped the middleman and went straight to the bidet. And people are like, dude, whoa. What about toilet
Right.
paper?
It's much needed, but also hated because it's like toilet paper was way better, and we didn't realize that all
Right.
along. But
No,
Yeah,
and
people
toilet
wanna go
paper, you
straight to
actually-
bidet,
There's
like,
a nice
oh, yeah.
experience with toilet paper, but with
Exactly.
the hard seltzer, it's like you go
Yeah.
straight for the like. Well, I just wanted to get drunk as quick and fast as possible.
yeah, it's super corporate.
You know, and that's what a bidet does. It just
Yeah,
it's
it's
off.
it's
Go
real
quick and
corporate.
fast.
It's real corporate.
It's
You
not
know,
wrong
like
being efficient. You gotta be efficient.
White Claw is the corporate
It's like
version of toilet
something's
paper.
around.
Got it.
May not be popular, but I'll get you.
the proletariat is not using bidets. I'm just saying. Like, if you want to join the socialist revolution with me, Kirkland brand toilet paper is what you got to get.
But I read a whole article about how America convinced the rest of the world that toilet paper was a thing, like was necessary. The rest of the world was like bidets. Like, why are you making this process more complicated than it needs to be? You know what I mean?
It's true.
And people can say that about beer. You could say like, listen, I just want to get drunk. Why are you making this so complicated? You know what I mean?
These days.
Good point. Yes. So, Doppelbox for all.
So Doppelbox next week.
Celebrator? Are you
It's a
kidding?
campaign you can run on.
We had
True
at
story.
least
If
two
you haven't
comments
had
asking for
Celebrator-
marshmallows. So we gotta talk to Sarah and make sure we get those marshmallows for next week.
Celebrator is amazing.
Yes.
I've been at it, order it through our website. Right.
Do you have Terrace Bulba on your shelves right now, or what?
Oh,
Pretty sure we do.
Come on!
Terry Bulby, another great Belgian. Hoppy, they call it a hoppy table beer.
Coffee
You got
table beer.
You got any crowlers of Terrace Bulba sitting around, or what?
We did finally kick to that keg before all this went down.
Yeah.
We mostly need you to
Sorry-
drink
sorry about
some
you.
Triple Carmelite on draft,
Triple car, very similar to this.
and also some Sticky Fingers. What? Carol's here.
Damn.
It's Monday. Carol should be here drinking a cider. 8
Carol!
ounce. 8 ounce if she's got time. 12 ounce if she's got more time.
Or Bourbon Barrel Quad. She's a fan of that.
She is.
8
She
ounce.
loves the bourbon barrel quad.
She's a champ. She knows her quads.
But if she's got
Another
work to do, just keep the ciders
Yeah. No, we don't tell.
secret.
That's not Carol Baskin, is it?
No. It's Carol Moore.
Okay,
One of our
guys.
faves. One of our faves.
Oh, cool. She's good. with me.
Photographic footage has emerged of Britney Spears sitting next to Carol Baskin from the
Shut up.
no, from whatever year that was, the American Music Awards, where she did her slave dance with the snakes and whatnot.
Oh God, please.
And and she had, I'm blanking on his name. She had turns out that the fella who runs that,
Joe Exotic,
no, the other guy.
Bhagavan Doc Ansel.
Yeah, he's behind her. He's behind her animal wrangling on the American Music Awards.
Come on.
Footage has emerged, and then sitting next to Britney
Yeah, I
in the
just looked
audience
it up.
is
That was
Carol.
so easy to look up.
It's true. I just saw this today.
I love it.
Footage has emerged. Yep.
Love it. I love it.
Oh my God, it's there.
I don't know about
Just
Bhagavan Doc Ansel. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
behind her. He was
Um,
he was on stage
Google
wrangling
it, people.
animals.
Google it, people. That's amazing. That's amazing.
So I want to ask you all, since we're on this call and we're like an hour over our end time here.
We have 3 hours over.
I have watched Tiger King, 5 episodes of it, so I still have 2 more left.
I'm on 3. No spoilers.
I made my own pizza dough today with yeast and all that shit, and it was
Ooh.
great and wonderful. What other
Same life.
what other elements of the cultural zeitgeist are you trying to interact with, so you can just be a part of like what everybody else is doing in this weird existence?
You gotta be
Cole's World
baking.
Tour. I'm
You
just
gotta be
kidding. It's not
bacon.
out yet. I don't know. I'm just.
You gotta
I
be
don't know.
bacon.
In
Bacon.
Park Ridge, they've been doing bear hunts, and I don't.
What?
They've been sending like kids, like like there's like the nursery rhyme, like we're going on a bear hunt, we're going on a bear hunt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So-
catch a big one.
We're gonna catch a big one.
Yeah.
We're not scared. So
We're not scared.
a lot of people in Park Ridge have been putting
Terrified.
bears in their windows, or like putting them like out and about, like in their yards, so that people can like take pictures and like like post and say, hey, look, we're going on a bear hunt. So my son has 2 stuffed bears, and we've been putting those out. And I don't know if we're in Niles,
I
so
like
I
it.
don't know if that translates or not, but we
That's
definitely.
good.
I was like, that's an amazing thing. We should go for a walk and like try to find some more bears. And we didn't find any in Niles, but I think it's a really fun thing to do because we've been reading that book for so long.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun.
I like it. That's a wholesome answer. I want less wholesome answers from the rest of you.
Josh, I'm looking at you because you don't have any kids. Go.
Yeah. Video games are great. Find a new one. Find an old one. Find some
You're playing
friends.
Animal Crossing, right? That's a thing people are doing.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing Animal Crossing. I'm not.
Not this guy.
If I had a Switch, I would be.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna say.
right.
I don't
People are
have
doing
Nintendo.
Ryan, you want to borrow the Switch from off the wall? We have a Switch that's not being used for the next X number of days.
Oh, you could rent that.
Take it.
Easy.
It's yours. Next time you come by, I want you to request a Switch. We'll put it in the bag with your 4-pack.
In the bag. Literally.
My children are obsessed with Mario and all Mario characters. In the last 3 days, I have drawn 22 Mario characters. I'm not even kidding you, because my daughter plays Mario Kart on my phone every day and every night. She requests it because, let me tell you all, and this will
Creating
save
a monster.
This will save you through the quarantine if you've
I'm
not
surprised you
downloaded
have
Mario
your phone,
Kart
by the way.
Tour for the iPhone.
But listen,
Do
you
it
need a
now.
login. You need
Do
a
it.
login to play it.
Do it. It's a great Mario Kart game for the iPhone, and you should definitely download it. But now my daughter requests it every single night, and my son and my daughter both know everything about Mario you could possibly imagine, and they have requested that I draw on note cards every single Mario character you could possibly imagine, which I have done. And
I have a challenge for you. Can you ask them if they know his occupation?
they do.
Plumber.
Do they know he's a plumber?
They do know he's a plumber. Yes.
That's part of the cultural lexicon. Everyone knows that. That's taught in schools.
They have watched
everyone.
They have watched 52 episodes of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
That's a giveaway.
With Captain Lou Albano as Mario.
Where can you find that on?
We've watched Netflix. Yo, it's on.
It is not on Netflix. Stop.
We watched 1.5 of that whole show. We watched the entire thing once, and we're halfway through it again.
No.
All of them.
I'm sorry. Captain Lou Albano is still alive?
Maybe. But in 1992, when they made this fucking TV show, he was Mario. So yes, he was.
Because
And
he looked
also-
like he was about to die in the Goonies.
Yeah.
Good enough for me video.
Yeah,
He
no.
was about to die right then, and that was 25 years ago.
I am not going to speak to his mortality because we all know with this COVID going around.
Ryan holds a class of COVID right now.
No, to cut me off. Wait, hold on, mute.
Ryan, Captain Lou Albano, he's like a wrestling manager. Do you know Captain Lou Albano?
I was a wrestler. I muted. Did I really mute?
You said mute you, so I muted you.
I didn't mean mute. I was doing a comedic. Come on.
I was doing the thing. I was doing a bit with the thing.
Maybe the property.
I've watched every episode of the fucking Super Mario Super Brothers show or whatever the hell.
It just
Do
sounds
they
like
still
you need to start.
do they have
watching.
the Legend of Zelda like tie-ins to it?
Yes, every time.
Every
Every
time.
time there's a preview for the Legend of Zelda cartoon in the middle of that show. And I have no intentions on watching that Legend of Zelda show because he's a little millennial dick in that show. I mean, he is sassy. He is.
He says a lot of
there's
excuse
no time for the sass.
me,
I have
princess.
no time for that. It's ridiculous.
No time.
Ridiculous.
No time for the sass.
No respect.
I'm watching season 3 of the Toys That Made Us, or season 2.
Oh, Toys That Made
That's
Us.
a good one.
It's one of my exercise bike shows.
Is it?
I've
That's
only
Star
watched
Trek?
the ones that were
Star
important
Trek
to me.
Wait, so you watch a documentary for
While I ride my
exercise bike?
exercise bike, yes, indeed.
I feel like I want to
You
delve
don't-
into that, but I
you
don't
don't
have the
drink
right
this.
questions for that
How am I
right now.
supposed to say fit, Brian?
Not PBR coffee.
No, because that stuff sucks anyway. So
The
whatever.
Toys That Made Us is barely a documentary. It mostly feels like I'm watching my own memories from my own
I
brain.
love that show. That show is really well done.
I watched the Power Rangers one today. So come on.
Is that
my
season
jam.
3?
That's my yeah, season 3.
So I haven't seen that one yet. So I must have stopped.
I've seen that one and the Ninja Turtles one, but Power
That
Rangers that hits me close to the heart. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
I still don't get Power Rangers. I don't get
Dude,
it.
I don't
watch
either.
that documentary and you'll get
I
it.
missed that.
No, I
boat
did.
on
I
that
watched
3
that
days or
episode.
something.
I don't get it. I
You
still don't get it.
don't get it? You're lost. You're lost.
I get Voltron. I understand why Voltron's
Drink
important
this.
and interesting
Nope.
and amazing.
Freaking
You're the same age as me, Ryan, right? I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
I think within like 9 months, I think we're the same age.
Yeah. No, that was the show I'd come home from school and fall asleep to. So that was my
Fall
nap
asleep
show.
at after
You're
school.
dusty.
I was like, cool, and then fall the fuck asleep.
Like 5:15.
It was one that was like, oh, this is on, and
4:15.
I had no interest in it. I needed more of a
Why was
plot.
the school day tiring you out so much?
So much learning.
Learning, yeah.
Don't buy it. Not one bit.
Oh, smoking in the boys' room. What are you talking about?
There you go.
Smoking in the boys' room.
Matt was,
Yeah.
Ryan was smoking up all that early Mosaic weed.
That's true. Really oniony.
Whatever was available back when you were 16.
So hey guys, beer is good. I like this mirror ball. Stay
Such
safe.
a sucker. Such a sucker.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish my Dana and then immediately So good.
How do we end this pub night? Because I know how to end the podcast, but I have no idea how to end
If you had an editor, you would have ended it long ago.
I
right?
my
there is
plan
no
to finish this
I mean,
video.
I love talking to you guys. I don't really
fun.
want to stop doing this. This is great. We can
I'm
do
in
this long after people are watching us.
No, my plan was to say like, hey, everybody, pour your favorite beer into a glass, and that's your
Do that.
that's like kind of our end of the show. We talk about why that was our favorite, and we
Set the whole
transition out,
sentence, man.
and then Star Wipe, everything's done. But
You have star wipes.
I don't have a Star Wipe. I have Lunafades. I don't know what those are.
Is that an alternative toilet paper?
It should be
Star Wars.
It is,
Star Wipe.
a bunch of empty cans.
Come and get it.
I definitely have to go.
ISO Sours.
You are done.
FT Kirkland Beth Shoe.
I'm gonna mess you up.
In search of pastry stouts for trade. Toilet paper.
If you want to torture Ryan, give him some sours.
I love him, man. I love him, buddy. I love him.
All right, next week's show is Cantillons. Everyone gets a Cantillon Vigneron.
And
Virtual
those-
pub pack, buddy.
Those
I don't
packs are
promise
available?
that. I don't promise that.
How you gonna put those shits together without that little plastic pack tech, buddy?
It's a good. It's a fair question. We'll figure that out. If we figure out how to operate a pub, like in 48 hours, turn around our entire process into a delivery and curbside pickup, we can probably figure out how to pack tech or Cantillon. onto your
Surprise! Your 4-pack is $97. So you know.
Sorry, not sorry. It's good beer. Drink a Vigneron.
I'm in. Count
Read
me
a
in.
book. Read a book. Drink more Cantillon.
Josh, will you drive to my house and drop off the Cantillon because I live in Forest Park? It's like 45 minutes from you.
For you, I won't.
You should take the blue line,
Thanks.
honestly.
Exactly. I
There
am
is
a block away from the blue line, buddy.
there is
Let's go.
no one on the
Yeah.
blue line right now. Go ahead.
2 blocks
Ryan-
away from the
Ryan,
red
remember
line,
Val-
so
remember Val's
not
Halla?
good.
Who?
Remember that
I
record
do.
store in Forest
Yes, absolutely I do.
But I mean Ryan Tracy, because we played there. Remember that?
No, don't ask him. I know it.
Well, I know you know because you live there, but I'm saying to Ryan Tracy, we played a show there, and we took the blue line into Forest
Where did
Park.
we? Wait.
Who's
We
Ryan
played a
Tracy?
show in Forest Park.
Yeah, at the record store at Val's Halla. We played on Record Store Day. We played a
Oh
show. It was
no!
fun.
Not a record store. I've never had a good show at a record store.
I
Wait,
mean,
you
they're
were in a-
iffy. They're iffy, but you definitely get out there with the people. It was fun.
You were in a band? What's going on here?
That's
That's
the end of
the
this
story
chat.
for
Thanks
episode
for
2.
coming,
No,
everybody.
come on.
Stay tuned.
Oh my God! What a cliffhanger.
Thanks for coming,
Tell me.
everybody.
I love
Tell
Have
me
a good
more.
night.
Carol Baskin killed her husband.
What?
Say
Look it up.
Everybody
Look it up.
knows. Everybody knows that.
Just leave on an Epstein, like an Epstein, and just
Every
like
time.
edit, close,
Dude, every
end
time.
of episode.
Dude,
Epstein
kill
killed
himself.
himself.
I love it. Kill the feet. Kill the feet.
I'm
No,
dying.
Thank you all.
we're coming up on
Carol's
3 hours.
gonna-
My goal is to kill this before we hit 3 hours. So
Carol's crazy, but
everybody's
Wait,
got
3 minutes.
30
You got a whole
seconds for
week
your
to
final
find out.
thoughts. I will mute
Just hang
people. I'm gonna mute people. You just give me your 30-second thoughts. I'm gonna give it to Ryan first because he's moving the camera.
Oh, Jesus. 30-second thoughts about the beer?
Life, whatever.
Okay. Well, this was a fun experiment. Thank you for having me. The Low Res Damon is my favorite beer of all. The PBR hard coffee is the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. So, Josh and Matt, you are so wrong, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. But otherwise, you should trust her because I know it because I say it every single week when I record our podcast, which is ABP Chicago. So, go listen to that because we do a lot. Mutiny.
All right, Josh,
It's my
you're
turn.
up.
Big trouble. I mean,
Ryan's just falling
hard
over.
coffee. Give one a try. You'll love it. For me, you gotta trust. You gotta trust in the trust.
Hey Siri,
So good.
set a timer for 30 seconds.
That's rude. Anyway, Illuminated, love these guys. Always making good stuff. Best part about them, they make a ton of varieties. Lager, great. Hazy IPAs, great. They make my favorite sour IPAs for those that are into that. They make great stouts. They make one of the best Christmas. They make crazy War on Xmas. Look that shit up. Awesome stuff. And absolutely love Illuminated. So excited to see what new stuff they do. They have a new space coming up, and can't wait. No. So much pressure. Okay, all right. Go Illuminated.
Is it me?
It's you, Matt. You're up.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you drinking with us. There's nothing better than sharing a beer with your friends and with other people who are excited about beer. Ryan's moved on to Starbursts. So in a weird sort of way, this is our version of having a bottle share with you guys. We're all opening up the same thing at the same time and tasting it together, and there's nothing better than sharing beers with people and sharing your thoughts. It's awesome. My favorite beer of the night was probably also the Damon, but I liked all four beers and for different reasons. And we are living in the renaissance of Chicago beer, and you really can't go wrong. There's so much good stuff everywhere you look, and we are just lucky to be alive. So cheers to that, and hope you guys are staying safe and staying healthy, and keep drinking.
I don't know if Ryan just ate an entire box worth of Starburst or not, but good on him. My favorite beer of the night was the Damon for sure. What an amazing 8.5% beer that I can just drink an entire glass of, and just come back and find new complexities and new things going on with that. And thanks to Ryan from ABV Chicago for kind of sitting in with this and filling his face with Starburst and filling his face with other sort of things. This was a lot of fun. We miss hanging out with all of you, and we miss the interaction. It's been tough to kind of just sell beer to people and not tell people what's going on. So thank you for supporting us, and thank you for indulging us in these little virtual chats. And keep buying some beer until this is all over, and then we look forward to. Right, it's just. Please come back and visit, and we look forward to actually drinking a beer with you on site. But until then, we'll keep doing this, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you for listening to us. I'll unmute everybody now, and we can just say our farewells to everybody.
Oh my God, I have so much candy in my mouth, buddy.
You're an asshole.
Thanks,
I wish that was
Ryan.
all
Thanks for
zombie
hanging out,
Skittles.
guys.
Thank you so much. I love the series. Can't wait to do it again without any ABV Chicago info.
Sorry, next week is all Craig. Craig's gonna come in over.
Oh, it's
Craig,
thing.
I love Craig. Craig is just random. I love him.
All right, good night, everybody.
He's the best. He's just
See you whenever we see you.
Fuck you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.